Oh, damn it.
What were you saying about Eddie Vedder?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're recording a podcast on a Sunday.
That's the best thing about Eddie. You don't have to know the lyrics. You just go.
I feel like he's just constantly like saying shit the Flintstones say, but in like a butt rock guttural voice. You know what I mean? Like his vocal cords always sound like the little roots from that Black Sheep Chris Farley movie, where he's like on the side of the mountain, like, "Stay strong, little roots. Thank you, little roots."
I saw a post that was like from the guitarist. He's like, yeah, he started playing the melody for Yellow Bedletter, and Eddie just came up with the lyrics on the spot. I'm like, yeah, he came up with the fucking words too. He just totally invented new shit.
He just screams vowel sounds. A-I-O-U!
Remember we played our first show? Remember we played our first show back in the day, like CC Charlie's? It was like my first show, and we had one song that wasn't finished. So I just freestyled the entire thing vocally. I feel like Eddie Vedder's been doing that for like decades, but like his
career.
Yeah, like he just freestyles and he goes. He's like Lil Wayne. He goes in the booth and just makes shit up, and then he's like, he listens back to it and deciphers what it kind of sounds like, and then writes it down.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Which is legitimately what I did for our first show with that song. I was like, all right, well. Sounds like I said something about a horse carriage here. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
It's funny how you change over the years, because the thought of going up and like just letting one of the people like just freestyle it gives me like palpable anxiety. Like
yeah.
The thought of just being on stage playing music at this point gives me palpable anxiety. That's just a horrifying thought entirely. Yeah.
I think we should start a band, boys. I think we should start a band, a dad rock band.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Top 40.
I mean, clearly, I've got the vocals down, right? That Eddie Vedder impression. I mean,
let's just do like every top 40 song in the style of like Eddie Vedder's solo album.
Yeah, I'll do the Eddie Vedder lead Vox, and Derek will get those fucking Fred Durst in the background for backup vocals. We're fucking set, boys.
We just totally mismatched.
Yeah. We could play any dive bar in the tri-state area right now and still be better than the band playing at that dive bar in the tri-state area.
We'll call ourselves Eddie and Freddie. Boom.
Oh my god. Wait. Oh god.
No. I need.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was gonna say something about like Eddie Fred Sketty or something.
I was going to say spaghetti. It just wasn't. It was going to be bad no matter what.
Yeah, there's no way to make that one good.
Ed, Fred, and Teddy? I don't know. I can be Teddy.
You just come out just like Teddy Roosevelt all the time.
Yeah.
Or Ted Kennedy just like bloated. We have to like constantly just feed you like vodka until you're on the verge of death. Where every fart could be your last.
Yeah. Like, what's his deal? What does he play? Like, he just dresses up like Ted Roosevelt. That's about it.
Every fart could be expelling all my vital organs.
Yeah.
I'm constantly at risk of rupture.
Chris is the low end.
Gonna hit that brown note, baby. I'm gonna get a red baseball cap, and I'm gonna have Dr. Gloom written in the style of Limp Bizkit.
Oh my god, that would be some fucking
I'll wear
choice
it every
merch.
episode.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Can I get one too? My birthday's coming up. All I want is a Dr. Gloom fucking Fred Durst style Limp Bizkit hat.
Can I just say that I love when Scott's tired because he rubs his face exactly like a 1.5-year-old does. He just laughs through it.
Yeah.
How they just linger like a little too long, like they kind of fell asleep for a second. It's very adorable.
This is our second pod within the week that I've been on fumes, boys. Fumes.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. I mean, especially now that these two episodes are being recorded so close together because of, outside our control circumstances. But it is what it is. Our boy Derek can hear again, which is really all that matters at the end of the day.
It's very good kind of sense to have hearing.
It really makes you miss
it really helps with responding. Which is like all this is really, right?
And not just sitting here like, yes, timing it out every 27 seconds. Seems natural.
Really, what would you do if you couldn't hear Scott's Eddie Vedder impersonation?
I would die. I'd rather anyway.
Shit, boys, we got some stuff to talk about. There's a surprising amount of trailers this week.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, I just had to ask one question. Last week we did secret. It's not that funny, Derek. Derek has like the preparatory smile, and I'm warning you now. There's nothing here for you.
Yeah, but you said that about your tea story, and that was so good. So
yeah, edge of the seat over here.
No, nothing.
Maybe he'll tell us about his
that.
toast this morning with breakfast.
Oh,
I did raspberry jam instead of grape for the first time,
and it was okay. It was just.
I actually like the raspberry.
Welcome to the Cynical Nerd, episode 29. My name is Chris. Joined with me, as per usual, is Derek and Scott.
It's gonna be bad again today, boys. I'm sorry already.
Yeah.
It's good, though. It's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah. When I actually do tell a funny joke, it makes them sound even funnier because you're usually on the verge of tears most of the time when you're tired, so it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, how are you on this fine Sunday? Hot Sunday.
It's very hot, and YouTube viewers are going to see now that basically from the months of April till like late August, I'm just covered in just these blotchy red spots. It's really a fucking nightmare. Now just moving shit around, getting stuff ready for the baby. Thick Dick Nick brought over some baby furniture, which is not tiny little furniture. It's just furniture that you intend to use for a coming baby, and that's it.
That was really good.
Yeah, that's the kind of joke I feel like you planned out in advance. I'm very proud of you.
I didn't though. It just happened. It just came.
Gross.
Yeah.
Scott, how you doing today?
Absolutely fucking terrible. Just the absolute worst.
You had a bad day.
Yeah. Me and our buddy Big Dick Nick, the king of all that is veiny and well, actually, I think he says he's small pee-pee gang, according to Nick.
Which means that he's really in big pee-pee gang.
Yeah, which really means that
like
he's just got a bicep for a cock. But we got done our Resident Evil 5 stream last night, and the second I laid my head on the pillow, my neighbor started building his deck again, or doing something. There's been a bandsaw going off in our neighborhood for 14 hours a day for the last 2 days. I want to nail gun this guy's asshole shut and then force feed him my cock until he just inflates like a protagonist in a Yoshi Story fucking commercial circa 1996, 7 maybe, and just explodes. Remember that fucking fat guy who was just eating and eating and eating, and he takes that one little finger of whipped cream and he sucks it off his finger, then he explodes all over the children who are mortified.
Interestingly, I feel like you just outlined the plot of the next Saw movie with Chris Rock starring.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I think the Yoshi's Island commercial was inspired by Seven, but it's delightful.
It's delightful. Also, you live across the street from a secret millionaire. If he's wasting all that wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very hot commodity.
Well, I mean, if I was paying $3,000 per piece, I might take 24 hours to cut a single slice myself. But you can tell that I'm not a carpenter because I just call it a piece of wood a slice.
No, I think it's common for most carpenters.
Like I'm cutting pie. Like that's my experience with bandsaws, boys. Yo, how for the positive masculinity barbecue, all meat and pastries must be cut with fucking circular saws. I decree it.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah,
we're all gonna lose
that
digits.
doesn't sound like positive masculinity at all.
I mean, that's why it has to be done. We'll let one of the women do it. That way it'll be positive masculinity. Yeah. And we won't tell them how to use the tools. We'll just assume they know. We won't mansplain shit. So if they lose a finger, it's their own fucking fault. But also, we're fighting the patriarchy, right?
That's right.
Fighting the patriarchy. Every male or people who identify as male must show up with a slab of meat over one shoulder and something to cut it with over the other.
I was gonna say a slab of meat on one shoulder and your wife on the other.
No.
And you throw them both on the grill.
I'm gonna go with a hacksaw, and I want you all to call me Hacksaw Jim Duggan the entire time. Okay, that's my only request.
Hacksaw Jim Duggins.
Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I'll call you Hacksaw Duggan.
Yeah, the Jim feels like sort of.
Yeah, it's like you're asking too much. You know what I mean? It's like when somebody, you can always tell when somebody gives themselves their own nicknames. It's way too nice or it's way too complex. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It's like Big Dick having person or something.
Yeah.
It's really jarring.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan is the only professional wrestler I know.
Fuck you, Frank. No one calls you that.
Well, it's a professional wrestler's name.
What's that?
From,
Jim Duggan?
Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
That's what that was.
Oh, I thought you just gave
then
him
that
a really
guy was a
clever
dick. You're not
yeah.
a dick.
Yeah, I thought you just gave him a really clever nickname, man.
Oh no!
I was like, where did that come from? That's
I'm not original.
That's like Bonesaw's Ready levels of clever. I'm fucking here for it.
Bonesaw's Ready.
You know what I'm ready for? These thick, juicy weekend review topics.
Oh, lots of. All right, let's get through the slog of the weekend review, shall we?
I mean, there's some cool stuff in here, though, right?
There's some cool stuff and some weird stuff.
Sure, not Sweet Tooth, though, right?
Yeah, no,
Which is not about Twisted Metal, apparently.
That was my biggest disappointment this whole week.
So here's
like,
my...
oh man, they're really greenlit that Twisted Metal show fast, boys.
Here's my segue for the week. Speaking of Big Dick Nick and his furry Discord admin rights, there's a movie coming out called Sweet Tooth. So I put this in mostly because it's a curiosity. I saw Robert Downey Jr. and his wife own a production company. I did not know that. Makes sense. I feel like every actor at some point in their career has a production company. It's almost like their equivalency of like a SoundCloud band. Like, oh, check out my SoundCloud band. And they're adapting a property. Now, this is a little misleading. It is technically DC because they own Vertigo, but it's not DC though. It's like they're not in the same universe as Superman and Batman. This is just some like off the wall kind of Vertigo third part, like a Dark Horse comic almost. So Sweet Tooth is about a post-apocalyptic world where some unknown virus has ravaged the landscape, and now there are
bunny people.
Yeah, and now there are furries. Let's be real. The post-apocalyptic virus was born of people fucking animals in this universe, and some horrible disease spread because of it. And these are all the abominable creatures that were left over afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like to say, furries, weebs. I know you've had it real rough with the redesign of Lola Bunny in the past months. But this is just a reminder that God doesn't shut a door without opening a window, right?
It's true.
I knew if I could deliver that one without laughing, I could get him. Look at him.
Let's give Chris a minute here. You can really see the vasculature in his forehead.
Kind of makes me miss Nick right now.
Gross. Okay, boys. Woo. I didn't expect that to get me the way it got me. I think it's because you delivered it so cleanly. It's just
yeah. I'm trying to work on that Derek Thundercock last name omitted delivery, which is really awe inspiring. If I can be completely candid here, his stone face delivery is something I wish I could do more often.
I think we have to start trying to like commentate Chris's laughing fits like it's a golfing match. I think that's kind of
that's fucking good.
I have to have
really see the
tissues
blood rushing
ready
up through the eyes right now. Let's give him another minute. See where it gets him.
Got him again. Seems to be having trouble breathing.
We have 2 rocks. High score has been 4. Oh, there's a third, and that might be it. Give him a minute. He's got to take the headset off.
Sobbing into his eyes.
There's supposed to be some tears coming out of his eyes.
It doesn't help that I'm
back.
like
Catching his breath,
help.
taking just a moment to clean his spectacles to better read the following week in review articles that are not about furries and weird DC properties.
As you know, Scott, removing the glasses makes the cleaning of the eyes just a little bit easier in a pinch.
Can you narrate everything in my life besides masturbatory sessions?
The fact that you don't do like VA work, Derek, is insane to me. I got a buddy I grew up with who does VA work. I'm gonna get your contact info to him or vice versa.
This is my VA work. This is the only VA work I want.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not paying you for the VA work that you're doing.
You're gonna fucking illegally download that shit immediately.
Besides the fact that this whole article is weird and unexpected, I don't really give a shit about the property. Like, besides the fact that the title was Sweet Tooth, the DC property being published on Netflix by the Downey Jr. and his wife, I was like, what? That was a fucking sentence and a half.
I think we got what we could out of this article, right? I think we pretty much bled this one. We got blood from a stone, though, boys. Congratulations. We are basically all Jesus Christ now.
We got some furry jokes.
It's the first of many miracles this week, hopefully.
Yeah. Science be praised. All right, boys.
Altman be praised. That's a deep cut, boys.
Next up, I have a question. I didn't ask you this beforehand, and I wanted to. Has anyone watched the Castlevania series on Netflix? Because I heard it was actually pretty good.
I saw the first season, and it was good, but like not enough that I ever went back.
Okay.
But this trailer was really fucking good, so now I want to go back and watch it.
I watched like the first few episodes just enough to be like, Dracula was fucking right. Like, fuck these, fuck this entire town. Like,
yeah, dude.
I'm down with the Belmonts. Don't get me wrong, but like those boys are like that friend you have that you told a story to, and they roll up to the bar and they want to fight that guy who was but they don't know what you did to that guy. You might have like fucking knocked his drink over, or just hocked one back and spit in his face, or like murdered his girlfriend, right? Like. This village, don't they basically, Derek, don't they like kill like Dracula's wife essentially?
I think that's what it is. She like he nursed her back to health or something. I can't remember. It was
it's been a while.
I watched it. I know that the woman like helped him in some way, and then he helped the townsfolk or something, and then they turned on him like they were a bunch of medieval.
And then
English
he made it
folk,
rain blood and demons from this guy, and the demons made their assholes rain blood as well.
Which is really a reasonable reaction. Who could blame a guy?
Yeah.
Right.
If someone hurt someone I loved, I would definitely form a giant skull out of fire in the sky and devour their souls. I collect them like a little demonic tooth fairy. You know.
If you can make it rain blood and you don't, aren't you kind of a piece of shit? Like, isn't that the coolest thing any one person could do?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't make it rain blood, you're definitely not metal as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, boys.
Anyway, Chris, did you watch it?
The show? No. I've watched... So, I have lots of friends that are Castlevania fans and have watched the show and have told me that it was really good. Mm-hmm. I don't, like... there's a lot of people that hold a lot of the older Castlevania games in, like, really high regard. And I gotta be honest with you, never really played them.
You fuck it up, Wooly. You are.
Like, what is it, Symphony of Night or something?
Symphony of the Night is a fucking undertaking. That's like playing through Super Metroid. It's fucking, but way longer.
Yeah. I don't think I ever beat that one, but it's very good.
Yeah, I never beat that one either. But I used to play the OGs on Super Nintendo. I used to play Super Castlevania 4, which was the shit.
Yeah.
Like I legit bought one of these little fucking Nintendo RetroCon, John, just so I could play it again. And no regrets, boys. No regrets at all.
No regrets.
The one that I played more than any of them, though, was the Lords of Shadow, which was like the PS3 360 era one. That fucking game was so good. Incredible. But yeah, I played the Super Castlevania 4 and Symphony of the Night a little bit.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I mean, really what I'm getting from this trailer is that I need to catch up on Castlevania because the trailer is pretty titties.
Yeah, the animation is incredible.
Extremely well animated, yeah.
Yeah,
and the
it looks
voice acting
very
is
good.
too.
It's a little stiff sometimes where you see that only their mouths are moving in some scenes. They do that thing that they do.
Sometimes. I was stiff the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Is that a Seinfeld mug? It's not. I answered my own question.
No, it's actually worse. It's a Gilmore Girls mug because my wife loves Gilmore Girls, and it's Luke's Cafe.
Oh, I
feel like that's not worse.
I never would have known what that is because I've been single for most of my adult life.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, my name is. Don't know how to react to that.
I mean, I'm saying that in a good way, as in I've never had to watch Gilmore Girls a day in my life.
Yeah, good
move.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
But I feel like we essentially are the Gilmore Girls. We all are constantly talking quickly and over each other, and that's all I've ever seen of that show.
That's the
whenever
entire
people say
shtick.
"Oh, which of the Gilmore Girls are you?" I just wait for the last one because I don't know any other names. I couldn't name one of them. I'm sure Gladys is right. There's probably.
I'm
Gladys.
gonna tell you both something.
Yeah. What's up?
I've watched the whole thing, of course, because like The Office or New Girl, Gilmore Girls is a show that my wife will just put on. It's like the background noise sometimes. Right. So the house will just put it on.
So sorry to hear.
That's okay. I mean, it has some redeeming qualities. They're not a lot, but there's some. Much like New Girl, I like a lot of the writing in New Girl, even if I hate the main character, halt.
Yeah. If these were the Salem witch trials, I would totally accuse Zoe Deschanel of being a witch immediately with for no just for
just no reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, she'd be making some weird artisanal soup, and I tell people it was potion, and then they go fucking set her ass on fire.
She told me she wanted to make some rustic sandwiches, and I just burned her steak.
How do you make artisanal basil? Fuck you! You're not making basil soup.
You really hold on to that commercial.
I hate her so. But it's that, and it's 500 Days of Summer because she's such a fucking bitch. She breaks poor Joseph Gordon-Levitt's heart in that, and he's an innocent baby boy, and I love him.
Hang on, Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that movie she tells him the whole step of the way she's completely honest with him, and he just thinks that he can convince her to fall in love with him, and he can't because he's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's a simp.
All right,
he's an incel.
I'm going to say two things here. I've seen that movie once and never watched it again because I fucking hated it. But also, I remember her like leading him along, like, being like, you know, like wanting things on her terms, but not ending things, and still stringing him the fuck along, knowing what he wanted, and still like telling him, "You're not going to get it, but I'm going to get what I want from you while you try to get what you want from me."
I trust your memory more than mine, so I'm actually just gonna.
Yeah, I know that I've seen it, but I cannot agree or disagree with either of you because I remember even less. I know that she's in it.
Let's all
just
agree that
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is real, like, doe-eyed indie kid in it, like Weezer fan. I fucking hated him. Like,
can you just do that face again for me?
No, that's one and done.
Please? No.
Not a vending machine. It. Can't put a quarter in.
That's the thumbnail.
Can we all just agree that Zooey Deschanel is a witch?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That's true.
Wait. Wait. I guess we gotta save those for a special kind of cord, not the witch.
Oh, right? Yeah. Plus, I'd have to take a break and go downstairs and get mine. You know, Derek, has yours arrived yet?
I have mine right here, but I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet. So, like, it's gonna be an experience, a new experience for all three of us.
Fresh out that bag.
That's right.
I'll do it.
Secure the bag, bro. All right, let's fucking.
Where were we? We should watch Castlevania, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. We're making good time, boys. We're making good time. I know it doesn't feel like we are. We're already two articles, only 20 minutes in. We're kind of
good.
Yeah. We're kind of flying right now. On the typical the Cynical Nerd speedometer, we are really flying right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd only be 5 minutes past the intro normally.
Yeah, that's true.
We compounded those ha-has today. It's good.
Compounded those ha-has. Yeah. So this is the final season also, by the way, of Castlevania. So if we do decide to watch it, I'm going to catch up on it, but I'm not asking either of you to watch all 4 seasons for the show. So if you do, we can talk about it, but if not, don't worry about it.
I'm doing it too.
All right, cool.
Yeah. That trailer really hooked me, man.
Yeah, dude.
It really looked good.
Like, the action looks so fucking good, and there's so much going on. Like, the big reveal is Dracula's dead. He's always fucking dead, and someone's bringing him back. So it's not even like, it's not even a spoiler, right?
No, not really. This is going to be dropping May 13th, so there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff both gaming and television-wise coming out in May. Yeah. Lots of fun stuff for the bullies to discuss. But
Spiral
nothing else.
From the Book of Saw.
Can I say that we... oh, shit. That's next week?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that we drained this article?
No, you cannot. Take it back right now, immediately.
I wish I could. So we discussed a couple of months ago that Disney was bringing to life an abomination that was going to deal with the Mighty Ducks. And it all kind of slipped in under the radar. Remember, there was a trailer for it, and it was coming out like the next week, and we were like, what? And we're like, and then I think we just spent the entire episode saying how bad Emilio Estevez looks, and it holds true to this day. Yeah. So apparently they're close to the end of the season, or have ended it. I have no idea. But they released a clip. This is an EW article that I put in here that shows Coach Bombay being reunited with Fulton Reed from the Mighty Ducks. And I got to tell you one thing: I'm so glad that we didn't watch the show.
Yeah, you couldn't have made me watch the show if you had my mother at gunpoint, Chris. There's no.
Wait, is it was on? It aired already?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought it was like another promotion for it.
Boys, did you unsubscribe from Disney Plus yet?
No, but I probably should.
Right? It's gonna.
We should, as soon as you said that, I was like,
can we do that at the same time, Derek? Like at the end of the podcast, to sign ourselves. It's gonna feel so good to not give Disney my name.
Yeah, and we should edge ourselves at the same time too. So it's like a, we
just gotta get a Chinese finger trap and put our dicks in both ends and just keep.
When's the next Marvel Disney
trying to get
Plus
away from each other?
Yo, has nobody made a Chinese finger trap? Or sorry, that's probably racist. Has anyone made a finger trap fleshlight yet?
I mean, we can.
Do you want to talk with your boys, but you both don't have foreskin? Well, Wish.com has the right fleshlight for you.
Wish.com has shit that you didn't even know you wanted. Mm-hmm. Like foreskin finger traps.
Edge in with the homies.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna edge. That's all, yeah.
I think that we should get rid of the intro song now and have Scott do Edging with the Homies for every episode. Forthright. Just an idea.
At least next episode, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll record it proper and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, but anyway, Emilio Estevez is really just not. I mean, I hate to rehash the same jokes, but the end-stage liver disease is real apparent.
Yeah,
John, this is just not looking good, man.
No, he looks like he's doing community service. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen any footage of this where he doesn't look like he's like paying off a debt to society by doing
he
this.
didn't even change out of his like regular clothes. He just showed up on set with what he put on that morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking. Parts of his face look like they're held together by like tacks. Just not even like glue. Like the worst thing you can think of to hold something together that you need to not fall apart.
He's got a real Mickey Rourke energy about him right now, but without the botched plastic surgery lips. You know, without those like.
It's like when you
Housewives of SoCo, whatever the fuck it is, SoCal.
It's like
you
when you
punch
cook
Mickey Rourke in the face, and 95% of his skin on his face wouldn't move. Just be totally
or
stationary.
it would like move all the way over here and then come right back. Like remember, like in Mario 64, the man used to like move all his shit around and hold down the L1 button.
Oh, I got the other kind of feeling from it. I mean, it's when you slow cook like a whole chicken in a crock pot for the day, and you pull it out, and like the meat looks like it just wants to come. I feel like I could peel his cheek off if I got a good grip. Like it looks like it's just a hunk of meat. It's like,
or if you like stood up too fast or something.
Just like everyday like, oh, don't hit the brakes too hard.
Oh my God, can you imagine like fucking Emilio Estevez's Uber driver just slams on the brakes to avoid an accident, and his entire face just
Not
flies.
again.
And it's just on the dash, staring at the fucking Uber driver, disappointed, like real like.
Why are we making some weird Disney family oriented like detective show?
Yeah, the man with no face coming to Disney Plus because apparently they'll buy anything, right?
I don't know. It looks like garbage.
I'm real glad you didn't even ask us to watch a single episode of this. I know we're all suckers for nostalgia, but you got to draw the line somewhere, right?
Yep, here it is.
I know that compared to the two of you, I'm the eternal optimist, but I am not like on board with a decent chunk of the shit that I could be on board with and like ask you guys to watch. Like that show, no. There's movies hold a special place in my heart. This show holds a special place in hell. Like no one should ever have to watch it.
But there's also like things that hold a special place in our hearts because of nostalgia. And when you go back and watch them, they're not great.
It's like dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like because I mean, like let's be honest, The Sandlot still holds up. That's just a good movie. But The Mighty Ducks,
that's
true.
Mean,
D2 holds up better than the first one, but neither one's a masterpiece. I mean, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. But if
Secret of the Ooze is the tits.
Yeah, but if you sit down a child now who didn't grow up with it and they watch it, be like, what the all right, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? It's not.
Why are there giant dandelions?
Yeah, like Michael Bay made two of these that are better, and you're just like, oh god. Oh, do I leave him on the side of the road in a box like a bunch of kittens? Like, what do I do with this kid now? I have to raise.
Did you just say Michael Bay's were both better than
I said I'm doing that from the point of view of a child.
Okay.
Who you then leave on the side of the road in the rain in a cardboard box like a puppy you don't want if you're a monster.
Yeah. Can I say something that I know will instantly make you guys lose a little bit of respect for me? I liked Ninja Turtles 3 better than 1 or 2.
I mean, 3 was good.
It's the one I owned on VHS, and I just fucking loved that.
3 was like the most balls to the wall silliest. They were just like, fuck it, there's turtles, let's put them in samurai outfits.
And
like,
it had the time-honored line, "Hey, Yoshi!" That's still in my regular lexicon to this day.
It's fucking good. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And the part where he beats the dude in a fight and this cuts off his ponytail. He's fucking top knot. Yeah. That movie it's insane. It's so good. But I'm kind of mad that they didn't do a whole Turtles in Time thing. They went to different time periods.
Yeah.
And everything. But if they remade a movie like that today, it would be like so over the top, too much. You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciate like how like grounded they were for silly puppet movies. You know what I mean?
It doesn't like at some point like nobody really questioned that there's just like anthropomorphic turtles. They're just kind of like, oh, they're here.
Oh, those are they think the demons. Like, what the fucking odds that they had like somebody had painted a picture with them with the same fucking bandanas over their eyes. Fuck out of here. Oh, what the ancient myth about Casey Jones was? What if he would have showed up? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I'm tired. This is bad.
Did you guys watch the new Michael Bay ones?
Mm-hmm.
I think I watched. There were 2, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if I watched both. I know I watched the first one.
It's hard to ruin Bebop and Rocksteady, but Michael Bay did it.
He tried real hard and he accomplished his goals. You gotta give him determination. You know, He's just trying to ruin all the things. 2, I think 2 was better than the first one, but only because they just went again zany and like didn't care. Like you have like Kang. in the fucking belly, which was just kind of silly, but like he was trying to build literally trying to build a technodrome, and they said the word technodrome, and I was like, okay, well, a little piece of me is like, I had those toys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how we got from, well, maybe because Bombay's face kind of looks like it's, you know, falling in a vat of ooze. I don't know where I'm going with that. It looks like shit. Moving on, boys. We got another trailer to talk about. I have a question for you guys. Did either of you start off liking Chris Pratt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did, 100%. Yeah. And I have to say, I don't know if it's because he constantly posts like Facebook stories that I could care less about.
You follow him on social media. You're a brave one.
I apparently have at some point. Yeah. I don't remember doing it, but I'm sure in some kind of drunken stupor at one point I was like, he's cool. And then, you know, now he's not. Yeah,
that's how I re-add my ex-girlfriends. It's rough. Don't do it.
Yeah. But between, like, just know it, like, the more I learn about him, the less I like him, like, as a person.
Yeah.
As, like, an actual, just a human being. Even though he seems like he's always trying to be really nice and, like, there's something weird. There's something fake about, like, the Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he's one of those fake nice Christians. You know what I mean? Like, the ones who, like... You know, like,
are we all on the same page here? Or are we getting it like we all used to like Chris Pratt, but we fucking I despise him. Yeah. I can't stand him.
Yeah, I can't stand him anymore.
The moment I see that he's in something, I'm less interested in the movie. Like I just can't stand his face. Yeah. He can't really act. He's like the same fucking person in every movie. And exactly, like he's always putting on some fake like I just really want to get out there and help the kids like Robert Downey Jr. And it's like you're doing this for fucking ad revenue right now. Like shut the fuck up, man. Yeah. He is so ingenuine. I can't stand him.
Well, he gets 3 strikes, right? 1, he broke Anna Faris's heart, and she's a precious baby angel. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she needs to be protected.
Yeah, at all costs. Like,
that he was the prude in that relationship too, right? Just because of his
yeah, she was begging for some anal, and he was like, "That's not the way of God."
Yeah, well, it's Never mind. It's gonna get weird.
I mean, if you're in Catholic school, that's the only way, right?
Oh, yeah. It's the only way they don't get you.
The other hole is for Jesus. I can't even tell you. When I went to Catholic school, I can't even tell you how many girls were having anal on the reg, but wouldn't have it.
Oh, big time.
But wouldn't have it in the front and bottom. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry, that was gross.
Wait, what's the front bottom?
Yeah. You know, the front butt.
What's the logic of that, though? Let's think about that because it really is a huge thing that like people think anal is okay in Catholic school.
I think it's
like,
because
is God just like totally grossed out by buttholes, so he just doesn't look like he never looked at any butthole ever?
I think it's just because it's drilled into your head that like first of all, like in Catholicism, any kind of contraception is out of the question, which is like ridiculous for the Pope to go to Africa and be like, "Don't use condoms." Like, well, there's a lot of AIDS here, Pope. Maybe you should shut the fuck up and just let these people. Also, not enough food for people in certain regions. Maybe we should just shut the fuck up. Anyway, Chris Pratt sucks. Chris Pratt's the worst.
Yeah. Back to Chris.
Yeah. If only he could catch the HIV, right?
Yeah, please catch the HIV.
Him and Joel Osteen, or where the fuck his name is, just both of them. You know what I mean?
Oh God, Joel Osteen.
Maybe at the same time.
Yeah. We all loved Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec, right? And when we saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy, what a treat that was, because we didn't know anything about him. This is a breakout role as an action movie star. Then we saw that fucking Voyagers movie where he was a creep and basically lied to and sexually assaulted a woman in space, right? That was that whole plot of that movie.
I didn't see it, but that's horrifying. Oh no, I did see it.
Yeah,
he
sexually assaults her in the sense that he has sex with her while lying about everything going around him. He manipulates her so he could fuck her and fall in love with her.
Was Jennifer Lawrence?
Yes.
Yeah. Passengers or something?
Passengers. Yeah, that's what it is. But everything you read about him, Jurassic Park, I couldn't do it. I was already kind of off the train. Yeah. And now, again, when I saw him come back at Endgame, I was like, oh, really? Do we have to? You know what I mean? Can't Thor just be Star-Lord in the next Guardians?
Hopefully. All our hopes and dreams. Boys, before we continue, I have to, we haven't even said what this actual trailer is yet, because
oh yeah.
But before we continue, I've introduced a new piece of speech into my lexicon, and I want to preview it here on the podcast with you guys. It's specifically into the dad lexicon. So it's a phrase or a saying that you can tack on to the end of certain declarative statements. So you would say, like you read about. So you go, oh, he's an asshole like you read about. And I'm just gonna start peppering it around here.
I love that because if you do a stone face to people who don't know what, they confuse the fuck out of them. Yeah,
exactly. There's a couple. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is Chris Pratt.
We didn't even do the trailer yet. We've just been shitting on Chris Pratt and talking about HIV for 15 minutes.
In Catholic schools doing anal. Yeah, no, welcome to the premium Cynical Nerd podcast content. Yeah. That's what you're here for.
Don't and we're use a condom in the butt, boys. Jesus is watching.
Yeah. If you have a little stowaway on the end of your tip at the end of your session, just brush it off. Don't tell her. She'll be self-conscious about it.
I feel like that's got to be a myth, because if that was going to happen, it would have happened to me by now.
I mean, I don't think it's a myth. I haven't
seen that even once.
I don't think it's a myth, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Listeners, have you ever had poopy dick? If so, email us at thecynicalnerd.com, or you can hashtag poopy dick, but that'll be POOPEEDICK or DIJCK. Yeah, Jick. DJICK. There we go.
Yeah, I approve of this. This is a prime time use of tweeting at us.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna tweet at us about how they had shit on their dick though.
But imagine
telling yourself, actually, it did happen to me once.
Yeah. Piss Vortex is gonna reach out.
Oh, Piss Vortex.
Big fan, long time listener.
Why is he from Jersey?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, his name is Piss Vortex. So
I'm just doing my Pete Davidson impression, which it just sounds like there's always heroin in you. Like, if I get, my skin's not translucent enough to do it properly, but just imagine, if you will.
One of these days we'll get to this trailer. Amazon Prime exclusive called The Tomorrow War. It premieres July 2nd, 2021. This feels like budget Edge of Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but it also kind of feels like what Inception was trying to do, because they say they're fighting a war 30 years in the future,
right?
So they're traveling forward into the future to fight this war. But
is that what it said though? I feel like it didn't say the gimmick of the movie at all. It weirds me out because it's in the Tomorrow War. The world is stunned when a group of time travelers arrive from the year 2051 to deliver an urgent message. 30 years in the future, mankind is losing a global war against a deadly alien species. Their only hope for survival is for soldiers and civilians from the present to be transported to the future and join the fight. How does that make sense?
Does time traveling break a commandment? You better check, Chris. Why don't you just pray, Chris? Don't
pray the aliens away.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's so good. Oh my god.
Among those recruited is high school teacher and family man Dan Forrester, Chris Pratt. Determined to save the world for his young daughter, Dan teams up with brilliant scientists and his estranged father, who's J.K. Simmons, in a desperate quest to rewrite the fate of the planet. So maybe solely on the merit that J.K. Simmons is in this. And it's on Amazon Prime, which I already pay for.
Yeah, it's free.
I might watch it. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it.
I will 100% watch it. I will 100% watch this because I'm going to get, like...
Hang on, did we watch the same trailer? Nothing even happened. It was Chris Pratt covered in sweat running down a hallway the entire time. Different hallways.
Yeah,
so
I got newsflash for you.
Times
but there was a squiggle bop up in that corner doing all gangly stuff. Like over here, just fucking...
There's a squiggle bop doing gangly stuff.
Where's that from?
I don't fucking know, but it's just a joy.
Oh, GTFO, Squiggle Bops is what we call the one enemy.
Yeah. But I call anything that's made primarily of tentacles a Squiggle Bop.
Oh, okay.
And those little Super Mario World, those little jittery guys, like they're like made of like there's.
Oh, that tracks. That fits.
Those the little black things, the little circles that chase you around the wires. Yeah. Those are also Squiggle Bops. That was the origin of Squiggle Bop when I was like 8 years old, and I just kept it in the lexicon for 20 plus years. It's been a ride. Yeah,
that's consistency right there.
Yeah.
So, this movie better explain why they have to go to the future to fight and not just like come back and try to change things in the past, right? Like I'm still stuck on this.
I don't care. I'm just gonna get really high and watch it, and then we're gonna talk relentless shit on it, right? Like that's. Can we all agree to that?
Sure.
Right. I'm not asking you to watch it earnestly. I'm asking you just to sit through it. It's gonna be an hour.
I'll watch it sarcastically. For sure.
Yeah, an hour and 50. Like you and Ron can just MST3K it. Oh, by the way, I gotta put that in the article in the John if we have time for it.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Absolutely, we can talk about it. All right, but I mean, the Tomorrow War side, whatever. It looks like it's probably going to be generic sci-fi. Hey, look, kudos to Amazon for paying to have shit made that looks different and it's not Netflix, right? Like I don't know. Netflix feels like they've given up to me a little bit.
Yeah, sort of.
Then again, we also, we love Shadow and Bone, so I don't know.
But isn't that the first one in like a while that hasn't been like exceedingly mediocre? I was thinking about that the other day. Like a lot of it's not good lately.
No, not good at all. All right, so on to some family-friendly TCN content here. The next,
isn't it all?
Yeah, it's all family-friendly. Never mind. Weird jokes incoming. Not doing it.
Yeah, no incest on the podcast, please.
Nope. There's a new Pixar movie coming out, and apparently, I think it's coming directly to Disney Plus. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's called Luca, and it looks like it's about a little fish boy.
Yeah,
about a little fish boy in Italy.
Little merman or something, right? What are they supposed to be? Are they squiggle bops?
Wait,
can we confirm?
I don't think we can make any Mussy jokes because it's a kids movie, so we got to just shelve Mussy for.
Well, they would only have mock anyway. They don't have any Mussy.
Yeah. Oh no.
This looks surprisingly charming though. Like I looked at the still for the trailer. I was like, do I have to fucking watch this? And by the end of it, I was actually like, I will watch this. Like, yeah. I don't even have kids. I'll fucking. It looks adorable in the same way that like Coco is. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be.
Coco is heart wrenching.
Or fucking. What was the one with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt? Onward. Like some of those movies are just such sleepers, man. And like they get you so emotionally. Like even Inside Out, about like all the emotions personified. Yeah. Like there's so many just banger Pixar movies, man, and they're just
Pixar. Honestly, most of what they put out is excellent, and even the worst ones are still like good. Yeah, like Brave is probably their worst movie, and it's still a good movie.
Right.
But no, I agree. I think it looked really charming. It looks like this is kind of weird to say, but it looks like they're like going for a little younger than they usually do. Like usually, I feel like it's like I don't know. I'm saying it just looks like really like a kid's movie, like a tiny kid's movie, like a 4 or 5 year old kid's movie. Where normally I don't know. You look at Inside Out and stuff, and it's about like teenagers.
Yeah.
Not that means it's going to be bad, but that's just one thing I noticed that was a little different, I guess.
Listeners with small children, you won't have to watch Trolls on repeat for another year now. You can watch Luca on repeat for the next 3 years.
Yeah. Wasn't there a Troll Hunter animated show from DreamWorks on Netflix? I think I never watched it.
There was a Trolls. I know there's a Trolls movie. I think there's a film with like Justin Timberlake. All my friends' kids watch those things on a fucking loop, and it drives my.
I know what you're talking about though. Troll Hunter. Yeah,
there's a Troll Hunter animated show that I think is kind. It reminded me of like Onward a little bit. Like they're like teens. I don't know. I have to check it back out because it looked like it was kind of neat actually.
Onward is excellent, by the way. We watched it again like a month ago, and once again I thought that this was going to be the time that I didn't have tears down my chest.
It's so good. It's fucking good.
Really fucking good.
Yeah, I agree. This looks fun. It takes place in, wait for it, Porto Rosso. Oh, I got the R roll. I never get that. I have to. It's not a sure thing. Sometimes I get it, and sometimes it comes out. Porto Rosso.
Porto Rosso.
You know what I mean? Oh,
Porto Rosso.
Porto Rosso.
You sound like you're from London.
You sound like you're from London. What a goddamn national treasure Paul Rudd is.
He really is. I live my life by the words of the great Paul Rudd. When life gives you lemons, just say fuck the lemons and bail.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. Okay, so moving right from a piece of animation that's coming out June 18th and looks charming to a piece of animation that no one ever needs ever. There is what is Elizabeth Banks doing? Right? Like she's a good enough actress. But what is she's doing a lot of production shit that I don't know. It's like I made a joke last week about the bargain DVD bin at Walmart, and I feel like that's where she lives when her production company pulls shit out to try and get it made.
Not after this paycheck she's gonna get from doing Bedrock, am I right? You can build a 2-story house somewhere.
I was finally gonna fix that house up from Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
5,000 square feet, boys. Which is also what they drive their cars with in Bedrock.
No, I was letting you go. That's pretty good. I felt like you had a couple more lined up.
I did, but the first one didn't get last, so fuck you. You don't get the rest of them.
I can see you drinking the mango claw.
The lemon iced tea.
Oh, iced tea. Okay, I couldn't see the iced tea. Yeah. I've been ice tricked.
I've been trying to stave off the inevitable dehydration hangover that you get when you drink a case of White Claw in one sitting.
Right.
See, you keep saying that, but White Claw kind of keeps me hydrated, I feel like. I mean, I always, like, chug just to... You're just sweating it out.
Yeah.
Just cuts right through you. I can't wait to try these surges that Chris has been giving us hilarious...
I'll make another video tonight.
Oh, yeah, dude, that video needs to see the light of day on our Twitter.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Scott, if you can make a baby, if we can make a baby, like, oh my god, like I want to clip that and start a TikTok just to have that on TikTok.
I made that video because that chat is a safe place with me and my bullies. Okay. And I don't know, I felt like I was high, but I was not at all. I was not under the influence of the White Claws yet or anything. As you can see, I opened it fresh in the video. Taste tested it for you. Anyway, no one knows what the fuck we're talking about right now.
Well, they will when we post it on the Twitter. No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, we gotta get on top of our social meds, you know?
If you do that again, I'll never make another one.
Not if you ever call it social meds.
I don't know, bro. Sometimes I have to brief stuff.
Oh, no.
What's our next article?
We're still talking about this. Banks is going to executive produce and star in Bedrock, an animated Flintstones spin-off series that will follow an adult Pebbles Flintstone voiced by Banks. Yeah, apparently.
I read this, but it's still funny to hear someone else say it out loud.
Yeah. It's more real that way.
Yeah.
You want to hear an interesting tidbit? It's not interesting so much as like you want to know it, but it's cool when you hear it. I guess. I don't know. This isn't the Fox's first attempt to revive the Flintstones. They ordered a Flintstones reboot from Seth MacFarlane and passed on it back in 2012.
That was probably
they've been trying.
Move. Yeah, but why don't you just air the old episodes? You know what I mean? It's been so long that you could literally air the old episodes and it'd be brand new for a whole new generation now. I don't understand, but also, like, who the fuck watches primetime TV? Everyone watches the shit on Hulu or fucking, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's sitting down at 8 p.m. to watch fucking Little Rock or Bedrock, and no one's tuning in live to watch SNL anymore either, because that shit sucks. But
yeah, it does.
Nobody watches live TV. I don't know a single person who sits down and watches something when it premieres on television. Do you guys? Like, no. I talk to my parents. I have a loving relationship with them, and even they do
every once in a while. I watch Last Week Tonight when it airs. That's about it.
I don't even the stuff that like releases weekly. I just watch on the streaming service. I don't actually. Yeah, I don't.
That's the thing. Even though I'm watching it when it airs, I'm still watching it on Max. It just happens to go up at 11 when the show comes on.
Right.
So yeah, I don't watch anything live on cable. You want to hear a sentence that just makes you want to punch somebody in the face? Fox Entertainment producer Michael Thorne added, "Long before The Simpsons and Springfield, the Griffins and Quahog, or even the Belchers started serving burgers on Ocean Avenue, there were the Flintstones and Bedrock. Their imprint on the animation universe is undeniable, and the idea of adapting it for today's audience is a challenge. We here at Fox are very much looking forward to taking on with Warner Brothers, Elizabeth, and Lindsay. No pressure whatsoever, really."
Yeah, their legacy has long been a footprint in cartoon history, blah, 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 and we can't wait to desecrate it. Like, fuck, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
can't wait to just revive the corpse and fucking move it around.
Yeah, but we're gonna breathe life into the corpse just long enough to fuck it back to death. Why are you doing this? Like, dude, like, it just, I could understand a Flintstones reboot. I would support that because, again, like, if it's been so long, air the old episodes, reboot it. Nobody gives a fuck about Pebbles. You think 45-year-old people are going to tune in and see what happened to Pebbles 20 years later? That's your target audience when you make it about a character that no one barely give a fuck about on the OG. What are you doing?
And more importantly, nobody gives a fuck about Elizabeth Banks.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
All right, now can we get to a topic I am really looking forward to talking about?
Yes, please.
Can we just take just a moment to reflect on how much Derek just dunked on Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah, we can. A moment of silence, please.
For Liz. This one's for you, Liz.
All right, good.
I think that's enough, yeah.
Great, yeah. Probably too much. A little self-indulgent.
So the next article actually has me pretty excited. In a sea of shit, there be a light. Yar. Taika Waititi is hitting
so much.
the seven seas as the dreaded pirate Blackbeard. So there's an HBO Max comedy series coming out called Our Flag Means...
We're gonna fuck
Why
you
do you
up.
have that?
It's been sitting on my desk since we did our fucking Sea of Thieves streams.
Hey, remember when we all sang the ship out?
Fuck you up. Come here. I'm gonna fish hook your butthole for that one, for that army mateys bullshit. Come here.
Oh, it might slip.
Uh-oh.
I tried to do it, Derek. I'm sorry. It wasn't as impactful.
Yeah.
So there's a comedy series called Our Flag Means Death coming to HBO Max. What gets me excited about this is the lead is going to be, I'm gonna butcher this. Is it Reese Darby? Rice Darby? R-H-Y-S?
It's how you say it in your head. And anybody, however anybody says that in their head, that's what it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Taika Waititi will be coming as Blackbeard, and those two have previously paired together on Flight of the Conchords, What We Do in the Shadows. Darby starred in both projects with Waititi serving as a writer and director. I'm very excited about this. The show was ordered to series in September 2020, and the show is loosely based on the true adventures of Stede Bonnet, a pampered aristocrat who abandoned his life of privilege to become a pirate. And as soon as you read that, and then you realize who's doing the show, it's going to be hilarious, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that the show's not going to be fucking funny.
It's going to be insane. And things like it's one of those things where like you'd be afraid, like when Seth MacFarlane had multiple properties on TV, it was kind of like, Jesus Christ, the Cleveland Show, American Dad, and Family Guy. We'd have the same show on TV 3 fucking times. But Taika,
those were all.
Yeah, but like the thing is with Taika, it's not just going to be What We Do in the Shadows, but pirates. He has like a clear vision for everything he does. He has such a dry, sharp sense of humor that I enjoy everything I've ever seen that he's done.
Yeah,
it's hard to make Hitler likable, and he did that. So like, you know what I mean?
That's true. That movie is a gem.
Yeah, dude, everything he touches.
It really was
gold.
good. I just learned today when I read this article that he won an Oscar for that. I didn't know he won an Oscar.
I didn't know that either. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that movie was fantastic.
It was really good.
What was it? Juju's
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. Yeah, I said Juju.
You're thinking of them Juju bees, boy.
I don't know.
Inarguably the worst candy ever, right? Juju bees. That's up there with Marshmallow Peeps.
I don't even know what they are, so they can't be good.
Oh, they're not good. They're not.
They're not good at all.
They're not quite black licorice or Marshmallow Peeps bad, but they're right behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah, it looks excellent. I loved everything Taika has done in the past 5 years has been excellent. So yeah, I don't know anything about this show, and I'm on board with it.
Even if it was lazy, even if it was What We Do in the Shadows with pirates, I'd still be really fucking into it because I love What We Do in the Shadows. Which, by the way, sooner rather than later, we're gonna have What We Do in the Shadows season 3 to watch as well. I think it's coming out this year. So
just finished shooting a couple days ago or something, I think.
So excited. All right, boys. Moving on. Nothing else to talk about with this article. There's no release date yet. Just some cool casting news there. I didn't even know that show was happening before I saw this news article, so I thought it was worth broaching the subject. Next up,
pretty good.
Next up on the docket is hey, look. Speaking of DC properties, it's not what the previous article was, so it's a terrible segue, that we know are actually happening, like the Flash film, the Green Lantern HBO Max series that has long been rumored, they've been talking about it for actual years, has cast somebody. Finn Wittrock has been cast as hot-headed Green Lantern Guy Gardner. If you don't know anything about Guy Gardner from the comic books, he is, first off, he's a ginger in the comics, so that's a little departure. I doubt they're going to dye his hair red. But more importantly, he was he was kind of like the epitome of the 80s masculine, like, bag of shit. Like, he was just an asshole to everybody. Like, he's a hero.
The Mean Lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, like shit. The Mean Lantern.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Chris is taking a moment to gather his thoughts.
I'm good.
Take a moment. Take a breath.
There's no crying involved. I was actually disappointed that the dad joke part of my brain didn't immediately catch that and like pat him on the back for it, because it took me a second. It took till Scott said the Mean Lantern, and I went, "Oh no!"
Yeah, that's so far. That's the episode title in my book. That's fucking. Ooh.
Yeah, episode 29, the Mean Lantern. I don't think we just have to think of an image. I don't think I've seen Finn Wittrock in anything else besides like American Horror Story. Like I know I saw his face in that show at some point. I don't remember what he did, but he seemed okay.
He looks like every handsome white guy I've ever seen, so I can't place his face anywhere.
Oh,
yeah, they all kind of blend together.
Yeah, I guess Tyler Hoechlin has that going for him at least. He's got that memorable fucked up face.
That's the trick, Scott.
Oh, he was the guy in Carnival in American Horror Story, right?
Yeah. Okay. He was like the super.
Ever.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
That's where I tapped out. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this show.
Yeah,
I've seen a few since then. I always tap out about halfway through, unless Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it. Then I'll stick it out. Kathy Bates and Mr. Gooding Jr. I'll stick it out for.
Yeah,
Roanoke was still bad though.
So the interesting thing about this article is not necessarily the casting news. I mean, it's cool to see that they're actually committed to making it, but there's some extra plot details here. So, as you guys know, the Green Lantern is not one person. It's a ring that passes from creature to creature, and there's a different lantern for each sector of space, and they form the core. And of course, there's an actual rainbow of core, different Green Lantern cores. Well, they're not Green Lanterns, but you know what the fuck.
Would you say they have a rainbow coalition, Chris?
I would say that, Scott. I would, without mocking the actual Rainbow Coalition.
I was saying that if you would, that would be insensitive. And you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, no mockery, no mockery intended. So the cool thing about this is they're going to cover multiple lanterns. So the additional plot details here are the series is going to reinvent the classic property through a story spanning decades and galaxies, beginning on Earth in 1941 with the very first Green Lantern. Secretly gay FBI agent Alan Scott, and 1984 with cocky alpha male Guy Gardner, and half-alien Bree Jarda. They'll be joined by a multitude of other lanterns, from comic book favorites to never before seen. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, but that's cool. So the Alan Scott thing is true. Very first Green Lantern back in the Silver Age when they merged all of the comic continuities together, and he was secretly gay. So adds a neat little twist on to their, what is an incredibly oppressive era for people who are homosexual.
So is it bouncing around through time, or is it starting with the one in the 40s?
It sounds like it's going to bounce around through time.
Yeah.
That's going to get confusing, huh?
Well, probably not. I mean,
at a certain point, it's gonna, because they're all going to end up in space, and space technology is not going to be like 1940s old time ragtime space. It's just going to be fucking futuristic space.
Just imagine going by on a rocket in the 40s and a dude on the moon was like, "Good day to you, sir."
Yeah, tips his fucking hat to you. My lady.
Well, they might not do that, right? Well, no, that's not true. I mean they're all inducted into the...
Yeah, eventually it's going to be confusing. Like, you're just going to have to, remember which character came from which time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm sure it won't.
As long as the guy from the 1940s talks like that, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's how they'll distinguish them all from the just really caricaturized dialects.
Yeah, it's gonna cut back.
I think it sounds cool that they're I didn't know that there was a quadrillion Green Lanterns. I thought there was 2. So
shit, yeah.
I mean, like I said, when we brought this up a couple months ago, Green Lantern is one of those things that my friends who do read comic books have always said that it's they're of the DC IPs their favorite. Just because there's so much in-depth lore behind it, but it's one of those things. It's such an undertaking that I've just never wanted to take the first step, and so I haven't. So any kind of intro into it that's easily digestible because I'm a big dumb idiot is a very welcoming idea.
I mean, look, hopefully, as much as I love baby boy Ryan Reynolds, they don't try to CGI the suit. Obviously, that wasn't his choice, but that suit was hot garbage because of it. So, who cares? I'm interested in the idea. We've been in this golden era of television for quite a while now. Just streaming series that should be TV series are finally given the long form television shows format that suits them best. And something like Green Lantern, literally a comic book that used to release monthly, nothing better could serve it than something long form like a television show. So I'm glad that when they originally talked about the DC slate, way back before Batman and Superman disappointed and Justice League bombed, that they changed it, because originally it was supposed to be a Green Lantern Corps film, and someone somewhere along the road made the great recommendation. It was we can't do that because there's way too fucking much here. It's gonna turn into another fucking bomb, a clusterfuck. There's too much lore. There's too many characters to introduce. So good. I will stay very, very cautiously optimistic for this, and I hope that they prove me wrong. I hope it's really good.
I think it's one of those things, man, because we've seen how out in left field the Marvel series have gotten. I think we both, all of us in hindsight, were disappointed with WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Right? Neither one felt like a satisfying conclusion. They both felt like they didn't really accomplish anything because they want to save those big events for the tent poles.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm hoping that with a show like this, where they're not going to be in any way linking it to the DC, EU, whatever the fuck they're doing with it in the future, they'll actually have some real emotional stakes and some real consequences. You know what I mean? Especially dealing with so many different characters. We're gonna lose some, right? We're gonna fall in love and then have to lose a few of those characters over the timeline of the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a couple there that are easy, right? Alan Scott's in the 40s. They're not, Green Lanterns aren't immortal. He's going to live a normal human life. He has a ring that gives him special powers. That's it. He's still going to die. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely sounds cool.
Yeah.
What, Scott?
I can't say it. I can't say it.
You gotta do.
I really can't. But it's for me. I'll tell you later. It's funny.
It's for me. It's just,
all right.
Yeah.
Saying up here, Scott. There's an article that we added in last minute here.
Yes. I got a question for you guys. Did you ever watch Mystery Science Theater 3000 growing up?
I have.
Sure did.
Saturday mornings on Sci-Fi Channel, be on like 10 a.m. You wake up and get your big bowl of cereal and watch Mike Nelson or Joel and Crow T. Robot and Tom Servo shit all over some of the best, worst movies ever made. Talking Manos, Hands of Fate, talking Creature of the Black Lagoon, we're talking Mitchell, we're talking Space Mutiny, all these great OG films that came out around the time of some cult classics, but like didn't quite emulate them properly. They have been crowdfunding for their new seasons of the show for the last 2 seasons. Now they're third. We're talking the Gauntlet, the Revival season 1, and now they're doing a season 2. And the way they've been doing these campaigns, to me, is I think fucking shameful. If we're being honest, they are crowdfunding on Kickstarter, with basically like a $2 million goal for 1 to 3 episodes, a $3,300,000 goal of 4 to 6 episodes. They are currently on their way to their $4,400,000 marker, where they will then release 7 to 9 episodes. My question is, how the fuck can people justify this when they are putting their shit on Netflix and they're obviously getting some kind of reimbursement for having their shit on Netflix? Netflix throws millions of dollars at stand-up comedians to film a special. How the fuck, you know what I mean? How the fuck do they need to crowdfund over $5.5 million for a season of the show, especially considering how low budget it is in every way, shape, and form?
It is weird. Like, I have to look into this because this is all conjecture. Like, here's what I think happened. I think that it was a show that worked when it did really well, and people look back on it fondly. So that when they had the first episode, Netflix was basically like, "All right, if you guys can come up with the money, then yeah, like you can use our platform." And then
we'll
they
host
did
it for you.
Yeah. And it's like, so just with that, the success of it, which I didn't really like it that much, but it wasn't terrible.
It's not great anymore.
No, but I like with that success, to me, that seems like that would make Netflix go like, okay, we'll cover it from here on because it was worthwhile.
The next
because
one. Right.
No, but essentially they were like, well, you did it one time, you can keep doing it. It is like a really fucking weird business model. I don't understand it.
It makes no sense to me. And part of the Kickstarter says that they're going to be building the Gizmoplex, an online theater for live events where you can watch them do stuff live, which they're going to charge you an arm and a fucking leg for, because all these like private entertainers do that. You know what I mean? Whether it's Riff Tracks, the offshoot that Mike Nelson and the OG Robot Voices do now.
Yeah. Whether
it's Your Mom's House TV, you know, Tom Segura and them are charging like $10 for pay-per-view events. And I get it, because right now a lot of these people, they can't go on the roads. It makes more sense for comedians to do shit like that than it would, you know, if they were full-time touring. But for something like this, where it's so low budget, my concern isn't so much that they're crowdfunding, it's how much they're crowdfunding. I can understand if Netflix wasn't footing the bill, them raising, you know, $2 million for a season, that'd be more than enough to pay everybody on their crew handsomely. But this show is so low budget. It is bottom of the barrel, basic network, basic cable. Like, we're talking like public access. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been a cheaply shot show, and that's been part of the charm of it. So when you're charging people $5.5 million, they've already raised over $4 million for this show with 5 days left to go. It just really rubs me wrong, man. It makes me not want to watch it, not want to support it in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Here's the other part of it.
Gross.
So Netflix obviously has all the statistics behind it. They know how well or poorly the first season did.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that like I liked the original but never watched this revival, that you said it was mediocre. I haven't really seen anyone raving about it. Maybe the first one just didn't do all that fucking well. Yeah. And Netflix is like, I mean, you can keep making them, but we're not going to pay for it. You know?
That's fair.
And we all might think that 5.5 mil is a lot, but there's probably a lot of hidden costs there. I'm not justifying it. I'm sure that's way too much money, but you know, I mean, look, as much as it might be like a shittily filmed, there's puppeteers involved. There's a writing staff. They don't write every episode themselves. One of the guys that used to that's one of the guys on the show currently used to be a part of the Nerdist crew, I believe, because he used to do podcasts with Chris Hardwick every now and then, and I would hear them talking about how one of them was going off to do the Mystery Science Theater 3000 reboot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I at the end of the day, I don't really care. Do I think that they need that much money to make the show? No. But I'm not a financier, so I don't really fucking know how much it actually takes to make a show. Even if that's
not a financier, but you are very fancy with that word.
I broke out my fancy cup for that one.
FMFD.
Oh.
or MFFD, most fuckable fancy dad.
It's too many. It's too many.
I think I like that one though. It's good.
It's got a little baby alliteration in there for you. I mean, this show has been canceled by Netflix. It was canceled back in 2020, but they're still doing this. Like they're still.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not sure what their aim is currently. Like I don't know if they're aiming to have this content hosted by Netflix when they're done with this.
I feel like they're all sitting in a writer's room with a big TV up on the screen, and the TV just has the Kickstarter page up, and they're just constantly playing "Don't Stop Believing" from Journey in the background, and they're like, "We're gonna keep making them because people keep paying for it." That's what my headcanon says.
Yeah, so Netflix did cancel them, so they are trying to do this independently, but again, they're not going to be giving these episodes away in good faith to people.
So it's not even hosted on Netflix anymore. This is just like some web.
So I was right. Netflix did look at the numbers and go, fuck that.
In the time we've been talking shit, they've made $28,000. Does that make you mad?
Jesus Christ.
It fucking should.
I mean, a little bit.
If you get Mike Nelson back, I'll give you 25. But I don't care about this. I don't care about Jonah at all. Patton Oswalt is a treasure.
Well, why don't we make a Kickstarter where we say that we're going to get Mike Nelson back, but then we just take the money and we go to like a third world country and just live.
You don't say
like
that.
Kings.
We live like kings, yeah. What we do is we move into a country that's kind of like discordant, and we hire assassins to cut the throats of all the political leaders, and we just move into their palaces.
I mean, we're getting a little dark, but I'm on board, I think.
I also think that a lot of people on Kickstarter don't do that. They just don't do the thing that they said they were going to do and they just keep the money. So maybe that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
I'm on board with Scott's plan until I actually see someone slit a throat, and then I'm going to chicken out.
Well, no. We're not going to be there when the throats are. We're going to be hanging out with Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay, Top Hunks.
Yeah, well, we're hanging out with Tom. Well, if we have if we have Kickstarter money, I could pay Tom Hanks for a year to act as Tom Hunk or Toom Hunk.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know.
And when he doesn't, we beat the shit out of him. We just spit on his face.
Yeah. All he has to do is like every once in a while just lean in and whisper, "You can't come if they're dead."
Gross. All right, I'm ready to talk about.
It'd be grosser if you could. What do you mean?
We're gonna go with the trademarked, copyrighted Cynical Nerd PP break right now. I think
PP break. That's it.
All right,
that's the one.
PP break for Derek.
I'm gonna go grab some claws.
All right, buddy. Ain't no laws without the claws. All right. So while the good and funny hosts are away, Chris will play. I don't know. Look, see, I'm still making bad jokes. I'm not even here. How are you guys doing? You can check us out as per usual at thecynicalnerd.com. That's where the RSS feed is. You can grab it from there. You probably already know all of this if you're here listening every week. And if you are here listening every week, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, and these two big loaves of lovable bread. If you're listening every week, it means a lot. We do this for fun. We do this for funsies. And, all we do is make fart and cum jokes and try to make people laugh. So we hope you're doing it with us. You can also find us at facebook.com/thecynicalnerd. You can also find us on Twitter at @theschmegnerd. I'm still trying my damnedest to get that at @thecynicalnerd handle for ourselves. I would implore you all to tag that handle that has no tweets on it and just spam. Please give it up. Just hashtag give it up. That's good. That's good. Don't be mean. We want absolutely no mean or trolly posts. We just want help in pleading our case to this gentleman or lady who is holding that Twitter handle hostage and not using it. But you can also email us at questions@thecynicalnerd.com.
Did I hear you say you want no trolley?
No trolleys.
No, bro, we want those trolleys gummy sour worms with those trolley gummy sharks.
Oh, no. I meant no trolley posts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this lovable loaf of bread appreciates you.
You walked away with your headset on, and I was like, I know you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Now I just feel like you're spying on me.
No, I mean, is it spying if I'm gonna hear it eventually anyway?
No, of course not.
Nah.
I like to leave little.
Actually, that's a gross parrot. Like you can't, because is it peeping if I'm gonna see you naked later? You know, like that's a dangerous road. Can't fucking.
Yeah, it's still fucking gross if you're peeking through my window at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Why do you want to see my butthole so badly? I don't understand.
Well, we had a date tomorrow at 8 p.m. I thought it was all right if I was looking at your window at 4 a.m.
It's nothing special. It's just a little stinker. My little
balloon knot.
Yeah, my little bean.
So, I mean, it's pretty clear he's probably bissing, right?
Yeah, big old biss.
Okay. He's taking a biss like you read about.
I like it already.
Yes.
I feel like you gotta put a little bit of hesitation. Like he's taking a biss, like you read about. You gotta Christopher Walken a little bit, you know.
Yeah, that's not bad.
He's taking a biss, like you read about.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Oh. Piss or biss?
Just a piss. I did take a bite of pizza too, though.
That's what you were munching on when you were okay. Fair. Oh, what kind of sick guitar is that in the background, bro?
That is a 1987 Japanese Fender Strat.
Oh shit!
Nice.
That actually is a sick guitar.
It's a very nice guitar.
Sick-olo. All right,
I didn't do that intentionally. I didn't put it there hoping you guys would see it and ask me about it so I could brag or anything. That would be crazy.
Well, every time you go to the bathroom. Got me. Every time you go to the bathroom,
assholes like you read about.
I get to play Where's Waldo with your background, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's Ron. I can't tell what game she's playing from here. You know, we just get to creep around a little bit. I get to snoop.
See what's going on in here.
Snooper's gonna snoop. Am I right?
Snooper's gonna snoop.
You are.
God, what a bad show that was.
I just burped directly into the microphone. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
I don't think I heard that. I think you're okay.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
That's the SM7B for you, fellas.
So the first thing we're talking about ties into the last news article, much like we did last week. And the good news is, boys, that Invincible has been renewed for 2 more seasons. Mm. There was a we were all reading about it Thursday before the episode dropped, which made, I think, all of us more hyped for the finale. And we're going to jump right into it. And let me just say, I absolutely love the show. I adore it. I think the finale was very emotional. It was exactly what I expected, but I was still not ready for it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, we all called Space Hitler. We all said this is. Oh, I think Scott might be frozen.
I think
Scott
so
frozen?
too.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going. There's no way he's that still.
That would be really impressive. I hope just randomly goes, gotcha.
That's fine. Okay, so we just had a technical glitch. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to splice it in, but I swear to God, dude, the frame of your face where I might actually leave some in the podcast.
Please do.
The way it cut, it looked like you were just looking down reading something, and I was talking, and I was like, Scott, we couldn't tell if you were fucking with us and like just Van Damming it for a second.
No.
I thought, I totally thought that you were just like sitting there and you were just going to pop out at any second.
Fellas, I have one of those $100 surge protectors that's supposed to have a battery life of up to an hour, and I guess it doesn't.
Every surge protector lies about what they can do. 100% of them all do.
I mean, my shit's not broken, but that's about the extent of how this thing works, I think.
And then we were worried that the bandsaw guy cut your power and was holding you hostage.
Yeah.
So
I fucking wish I would John McClane the fuck out of that piece of shit right now.
Oh God!
Like, right, give me a reason to fist fight that neighbor, and I'll fucking do it. Like right now.
Would you do it barefoot too?
Yeah, on broken glass. And what I would do is I would intentionally step on broken glass. My pain threshold's high, my adrenaline's high, and then I would kick him in the face once I knocked out my bloody feet and do that whole Fight Club. You don't know where I've been, Al. You don't know where I've been.
Right.
But with stinky glass-filled feet, I wouldn't wash them.
Please let us stay.
Yeah. Please let us stay, Lou.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. All right, boys. So we had just covered that Invincible's been renewed, and we were all stoked. And I just have to say that I love this show. We all knew where the show was going. There was no surprises here, I don't think. Right? We all called Space Hitler. We all said Dad was going to be Space Hitler, but I mean, the way that it happened Like we knew it was going to happen, but I was not prepared for it. It hit me really, really hard. I will say this: it's not surprising to anyone who's listened to the podcast because y'all know I'm a crier. But holy shit, a combination of being a dad and just watching good writing take place. I like openly sobbed to the point where I was like embarrassed that I might wake up my wife downstairs because I.
Oh no!
I said that. There was a point where I was like, "Oh no!" I was very ugly crying.
I'm picturing like forgetting Sarah Marshall right now, where like she calls up. Is there people getting reports of an old woman crying?
Yeah.
It's the lady on the floor above me. I think she's having a really hard time. It's like, you're on the top floor, Chris.
Yeah.
It's just you.
Obviously, spoilers abound because we always spoil everything we talk about here. But it's the scene where I always forget his fucking name. Nolan is like bludgeoning his son to death and has the flashback to the fucking baseball game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, it hit me so fucking hard. But I don't want to go too in depth because I want all of the boys' thoughts spread out on the table so I can see it like a naked sushi surprise.
You want to spread eagle for you is what you're saying?
That's exactly what I was
You want me to basic instinct you? Basic instinker. Instinctor.
Scott, how did you feel about the season finale of Invincible?
I thought it was incredible. I thought it was really it was insane to watch. I expected it to go the way it went, but I didn't expect it to take the hard right turn that it did. The battle felt like it went on for such a long time. So much happened. There were so many like horrific conversations and big reveals that when that fight ended and there was still like 25 minutes left of the episode, I was like, oh, holy shit, like we have so much time to wrap up all these storylines and put a neat little bow on things to the best of their ability. And
right.
It's rare that you see shows that get the pacing this right, especially with the season finale. You know, where it feels like you get enough action, you get enough story, but then you also have time to like neaten up afterwards and not feel like something's left unfinished. Yeah,
I thought the same thing. I thought that if we had such a good chunk of fight and then such a good chunk of like just the aftermath of it, it became abundantly clear that there was no fucking way he was going to beat his dad, right? So and the whole time I'm watching him fight his dad, I'm like, there's three ways they can go. Either A, he summons the strength and I'm going to fucking hate it. Or B, someone's going to save him, which is going to feel cheap. Or C, what this is, dad is going to stop somehow. And that's, exactly what happened in the most heartbreaking fucking way. Derek, how did you feel about the finale?
I mean, obviously I loved it. This is actually like very much creeping up on my favorite like top 10 shows of all time.
But I have to tell you, I live on that. The when Derek loves something so much that he like it's like a throwaway line. Of course, I loved it. Yeah. Like I live on it. If I could, I just want to take those and put them in a scrapbook so I can never forget them.
Does that phrase live in your head rent free?
Don't fucking motherfucking goddamn it!
Oh my god! And he gets
Jesus.
the 2-pointer. All right, continue, Derek. We're sorry. We're both sorry.
Beads of sweat are slowly forming on Derek's forehead. He seems to be annoyed.
Oh, they've been here the whole time.
And yet somehow in awe of the douchebaggery of his friends.
If he can pull it together in the ninth, I don't know how they do it in golf. Never mind. Just forget it. The joke is done. It was incredible. The fight was horrifying. It reminded me of like the fight between Superman and Zod in Man of Steel, except way gorier.
Way worse.
The part where obviously he holds him in front of the moving subway was like
hold him to the subway train.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But the way he's talking to him the whole time, the voice acting in this episode, like this show period, obviously we've said a million times it was great, but in this episode it was like God tier. Like it was just incredible.
Murdered it.
I was worried you guys were going to yell at me because for full disclosure, we've talked about it before, but we all try to not blow our collective loads in chat when we're watching stuff, and I immediately within the first 5 minutes I was like, oh my fucking god, Steven Yeun's voice, the opening of it when his voice is like cracking and he's like, because he learns the truth and he's like, what are you telling me, like this can't be real, you must be being controlled, tell me something's controlling you. I was fucking
but even J.K. Simmons, it's like, he's saying like I didn't want you to have to find out this way. It's kind of like the Band-Aid got ripped off, so he was like, fuck it, like let's do it. That anger, that like just like seething anger of him, like basically having to fast track this explanation he's been trying to ease Mark into, was just very apparent in the voice acting. Like it was that frustration, dude. It was horrifying. Like I was literally like, I'm watching a cartoon right now, and there's parts where he's beating the shit out of him, and this is what I love. when you have a show where there's a main character, especially when that main character is a superhero, they don't die, right? Like that would defeat the purpose of the show. But when they're so good at suspending your disbelief in the moment of like an episode or a season or whatever, I was like, is Mark gonna fucking die? Like, is he gonna kill his son? He says some line like, "What's another 17 years? I'll just make another son."
Dude.
Yeah, and the part. So you said the part about the baseball, and obviously same here. But the thing that like cut right through to me was when he said, "What are you gonna have after 500 years?" And like through this like broken, shattered face, he just says, "I'd still have you, Dad." I was like, "Oh my fucking God, dude!" Tears just welled up in my eyes, dude. It was such.
I'm feeling sad again. Yeah. Stop it.
Can we talk like this whole episode? Like, it seems like the theme was loss, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mark loses his innocence. Mark's mother and Mark lose a father and a husband, and like a best friend in some aspects. But also, we watch Mark again and again and again fail to save everybody he tries to save. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like I mean, first and foremost, the pilot. He like goes through all this extreme to like save this pilot, and then Omni-Man just like liquefies his fucking head right in Mark's face.
As soon as the saving the pilot scene was going on for longer than 10 seconds, I was like, this guy's gonna die.
Yeah, immediately. And but even more heartbreaking though is when he like punches him into the middle of the city, and he like goes through this building, and he kills like at least 100 people in his initial crash through that traffic. But then he's trying to save the mother and the little girl, and the building topples over. And you don't see what happened to the little girl, but you see the mother's severed arm that he was holding on to.
Yeah.
And it's just like, with all this going on, with his world shattering around him, he's still doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And still like
trying to. Yeah.
He's still trying. I mean, he is doing the right thing. Like, I mean, it's not working because his dad's like a fucking unstoppable force. That bullet we talked about last week was a fucking headshot for sure this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was just insane. The train sequence, especially like the gore and the violence there, like just watching him be pushed through people like that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys like twisted my arm to watch this show, because I never would have done it on my own, and I would have missed out.
Yeah, that's all, Chris. If I would have just watched this trailer, and even though the trailer did seem like mildly interesting to me, if we didn't like have it set in stone, like, hey, let's watch an episode or two of this, I never would have. And I'm overjoyed that I did. It was incredible. I can't fucking wait until next season. I mean, literally, I can't wait. I'm watching it all again this week. Like, I'm just starting over and doing it again, just because I want to.
I might give it a run through. I might give it a run through now that it's all out, just to watch it in one continuous thing. Because I feel like it'd probably be even more juice all together at once. I mean, just like you said, that I'm gonna end up repeating the same things, but like there were so many just heartbreaking scenes of like his father just like, you want to do this? Sure, I'll throw you through a city. I'll push you through a train. Like, you can't save these people, and it doesn't fucking matter because they're maggots on this. We're gonna make them better. He says the line about, I always forget his mother's name.
Debbie.
Okay. He says the line. He's like, what about mom? And he's like, I love your mother, but I like her in the same way you love a pet. He's like, I look at her like a house pet or something, and I'm like, you fucking. It's like, you monster.
That's real gross considering he fucks her, right?
Yeah. Well,
I did see a meme that was like, like Mark was like, didn't know Viltrumites fucked their pets, Dad.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. At the same time, you're like, well, if you lived for thousands and thousands of years and you were part of the civilization, you might think the same things, because at the end of the day, like, his dad is a monster, right? Like an absolute monster. But at the end of the day, he still fucking loves his son. As much as he's trying to even tell himself he doesn't love his son, he does, because he doesn't kill him and he doesn't take over the fucking planet. He just leaves. It's the only thing in his power that he can do that doesn't result in the immediate death of his son. He can just leave.
So can I just tell you guys just a very brief theory that I have before we move on to like the wrap up latter half of the episode? I think that Viltrumites have some kind of innate bloodlust ability that makes them super strong, but they lose their mental capabilities and they just become like enraged and rash and say shit they don't mean. There's been a couple times throughout the season where Nolan starts to get pissed, and there's a time like him and Mark are training and he just fucking starches him and like knocks him into the ground. He's like, sorry, like he gets real, he has to calm himself down. There's a part he's yelling at Debbie and she's kind of like, don't talk to me like that, and you can see Nolan go like, oh shit, okay, hang on, and he like brings himself back. there's a part with Mark when he's fighting Lion Man, whatever his name. It might have even been Lion Man, honestly.
Yeah.
And he goes like, "You guys are fucking dead!" And all of a sudden, like when he gets angry, he fucks them all up, and then of course subsequently loses. But and then same thing. Like the only reason I'm thinking this is that if you look back at the scene where Nolan takes Debbie to like France or wherever it was, to me, like that scene, if she was just a pet to him, why would he do all that? Like that didn't make sense to me. Like I think.
Well, people take their dogs for walks, right?
Oh my god! You're not like trust me. You're like in the fucking house. That's the end of it. But now, if he yelled at Debbie like that in Paris, that would be a pretty dark show. But no,
go to the bathroom.
Shit.
Yeah. Go pee pee.
But so that's something like I was thinking. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of like once they start to actually fight, they just get like. Have this rage that enhances their physical capabilities. Because even at the beginning of the fight, before Nolan really started to go fucking nuts, Mark kind of got a good few clean hits on him. And once he sort of had this, like, you know, Super Saiyan Goku type thing, there was just like nothing Mark could do to even put a scratch on him.
What's crazy to me is that Mark didn't tap into what he tapped into before. And like this is a way more like, you know, maybe he's stricken with more grief than anger and more confusion than anger.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to tap into it. It wasn't like a pure rage. I don't know, man. It's weird that he didn't even put up a mild fight. You know what I mean? Like he just got ragdolled for 25 minutes, and it felt like it wasn't bad, but it felt like forever. It felt way more than 25 minutes because of how many locations they went to, how much happened. I thought the episode was like 5 minutes from over when that fight ended.
Me too.
Again, I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought we had all this time to like wrap up stuff. We get to see the twins going back into custody. We get to see Lion Man off doing his thing. We get to see the aliens back on Mars, which are definitely serving a purpose at some point.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Future storyline for sure.
But also, Mark got back with his fucking.
I did hate that.
Amber's the worst.
I'm starting to get on Team Fuck Amber. Honestly,
I hate Amber so much.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Your dad's a fucking mass murderer. Like,
yeah, now I get it. Do you?
You couldn't have empathy knowing that he was in the fucking hospital on the verge of death and had told people he was hit by a truck. So bad he got his ass beat. Like, you're a piece of shit, Amber. He's at the mercy of your mood swings.
This episode did kind of shift me over to Team Fuck Amber a little bit.
Yeah, she's a piece of shit. She needs to fucking go.
Yeah. Team FA, as they say. Team FA. Yeah, I mean, all the loose ends they tied up. All the plot lines they set up for the next one, like Seth Rogen's Mars alien sit down on the moon. You know, I'm really looking forward to the next season, and I just want to again like applaud all the voice actors, man. So fucking juice.
I just hope that they can all be recontracted like for the rest of the show.
I would imagine,
but I do like that the same thing with The Boys happened. That like right towards when season 1 was about to wrap, they were like, "We're not giving you one more season. We're giving you at least 2 more seasons," which is just a testament to how well it's doing. So
it's really nice when you find something that's really good, and then you can also tell that everyone else knows that it's good too, because it's doing well enough that they get renewed. So I can't speak highly enough. I would recommend the show to anybody, animated or Superman fans or not, superhero fans or not.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna scoot on over to see what Scott feels about Shadow and Bones now that he's seen it. Last week, Derek and I talked briefly about it without any spoilers. This week, we can obviously talk about spoilers, but I want to find out, did you like it?
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about Shadow and Bone. I thought the character writing was really good. Jasper, Alicia, and Mal, I thought were really great characters. I thought it had some good twists. The twist that the Black Heretic was the only dude who used black magic, shadow magic in the entire show wasn't really a giant twist. I kind of saw that coming from like episode 2. I'm like, oh, that's that guy.
What I told Derek was like, oh, the guy who dresses in all black is the bad guy. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Oh god.
Look, I knew he was the bad guy, obviously, but I felt dumb not realizing that he was like the original Black Heretic. It's one of those things that I went like, oh my god, and then I was like, I really didn't see that coming.
They did go out of their way to say, you know, like thousands of years ago,
was like
the
a
original.
descendant.
Yeah. But also, like, the Fold is what brought me into this. Like, when I heard about the concept of the Fold in the first episode, I was like, all right, maybe that's kind of cool. It's like the Dark Scar from World of Warcraft, or like, you know, like it's got that Eastern Plaguelands, Western Plaguelands vibe, which is like the most dangerous part in the OG game. So I'm thinking like it's going to be a place that's full of nightmares. In one of the earlier episodes, Alina says, I have dreams that my parents are still dead in there waiting for me. And so I'm thinking like it's a place where nightmares manifest, because that's what a fucking shadow fold would do, right? Everything that you fear would come at you. It would be like this unstoppable force. And it's just a bunch of shadow dragons, right? They're just giant reptiles with weird faces. That to me was extremely weak. I like the magic system. I thought that the Grisha was cool.
Yeah.
But also like it was a little too close to Game of Thrones for me in some aspects. Like the whole fucking the whole like plotting in the little palace thing, like a mother betraying her son. It was just so fucking petty. Like shut the fuck up. Like, and what I disliked the most about it, I did like some things, to be clear. What I dislike the most is that Mal and Alina are pining for each other and going through all this shit to get back together constantly, but always missing each other by a hair. And then the way he finds her is so stupid. He finds her by like just being ahead of her in the path. You're tracking her. Why are you ahead of her? Why aren't you behind her heading through the city? You know, but also like you guys both clearly are in love with each other. You fought tooth and nail to get back to each other. You're gonna fucking kiss the girl, bro? Does Sebastian have to sing a fucking song? You're gonna kiss the girl? You're going to kiss the girl? Like, the whole time I just wanted them to fucking make out. I'm like, just fucking kiss her. Just fucking... Before I pause this and lick the screen for you, fucking do it. Somebody needs to kiss this girl.
I really didn't get that from them, but I got that Alina was literally...
You are my true north? Bro, he wanted to fucking...
No. Here's the thing. I know that in the beginning of the show, they're clearly, like, we're in love, but haven't really admitted it to each other. And then in the end, obviously, they get that way again. But I think Alina was really taken up with her new life. I think she was, like, kind of, not right away content, but she, like, accepted that this was going to be her new normal. And she was kind of falling for the douchebag before she knew he was the douchebag. But let's be honest, he was still a douchebag.
Have you ever written a love letter for anyone?
But they specifically said, like...
Ever written a love email or a... Texted someone every day without response for months at a time. That's some crazy shit if you don't know somebody knows somebody.
But then she started to say, like, someone was like, do you want me to check for the letters or something? And she was like, no, it's okay. Like, she was letting that go.
I mean, that was months into her writing every day and not hearing back.
But they were being intercepted, though.
Yeah, on both ends.
Yeah.
Kind of like that fleshlight finger trap we talked about earlier.
I saw your facial expression change with like just light up with excitement as soon as you said on both ends. You just went.
Which ends the butthole, which ends the mouth? You'll never know.
I just want to say that when I said last week that there were, 3 days ago, that there were things about it that weren't perfect and that it was a flawed show. Here are the two main things, just so you know. The antagonist. It's hard for me to totally card that against it because 90% of any story that's ever been written has a bad antagonist, in my opinion. I think that, like, it's just something that writers have difficulty with. It still doesn't, like, it's not a free pass or anything, but what's his name was kind of weak. And the other thing is the fold. I felt like the fold wasn't a total flop like you do, but I feel like when you have this, like, scar in the middle of everything, that, like... They set it up in the first episode like it's just like, oh my god, we're probably not going to get through. Next thing you know, like every other person you meet has like 20 scars on their arm because they're constantly passing back and forth through it. And it's like, shouldn't you have showed us the viewer that it's like, their first voyage through gets all fucked up, but it's because it's just one dunce who lights a lamp. Like it's not you know what I mean? Like I just didn't get the sense that it was as like scary in there as they really wanted you to think. Like it was this huge scourge on, you know, the entire nation or whatever. So I agree that I felt like the fold was like underrepresented or like they just didn't make it as big of a thing as they talked about in the dialogue. It
was cool to see how that would affect like a civil war, to see like a magical like influence change the landscape of a country and change its politics and make it so that, you know, like literally they say it in the first episode, like to the north we're those fucking what are they called, the fucking barbarians,
Fieridans, I think.
Fieridans. Also, that little love story for a minute there had me kind of like...
I liked that one. I hate love stories and shit. I thought
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The best part about the show were like the little... It was basically a fantasy soap opera for me.
Yeah.
Because I was more interested to see like who was actually going to finally get together and who wasn't than I was with anything else going on the political landscape or with the magical side. The Grisha's cool. but they also don't really explain how the magic works. It's just like they stab you when you're young, like they test you, and if you have the Grisha blood, you just learn how to like do it. They don't explain how they actually summon it. They just do it. Yeah. And to me, like I get what you're saying. Like this goes more in depth with the magic system than a lot of things do, but it didn't go in enough for me to feel like the magic system was flushed out. It felt like they explained how they could differentiate and like that there was like kind of like a tier system. There was like a socialite system. I don't know what you would call it. Class system. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Where the Grisha were at one point persecuted.
Yeah.
But now kind of like live this cushy life where they've carved out a place for themselves, and they fear that any negative terrorist attack done by a Grisha or anything that's viewed as like a danger to regular people, the common people would overthrow them again and hunt them down like animals. The Fjordan
That's why I loved the world of it. Like I loved the part with
that part was fucking cool.
The Fjordan and the woman, I can't remember her name, the Heartrender up in the north, when they're in the bar with the slave, the slave bounty hunters or whatever. And he says to the guy, like, you're already at war with one country. Do you want to be at war with two? Basically saying, like, people don't fucking like you. If you attack us in public, like, you're going to cause a huge international event. That stuff about the world I just thought was really good. But before we get away from the Grisha, what are we feeling, guys? Jesper he's got to be a Grisha, right?
I feel like he's got to be.
Somebody said a line when he was fighting the one Heartrender, and he kept shooting him in the same spot in his chest to weaken his armor. Right before he knocked him out, he was like, "Oh, you're one of the," and then he knocks him out before he can like finish his sentence.
Oh, I never caught that.
And he has like that impeccable aim. He's like ricocheting shot. I think he's some kind of Grisha, and he's hiding it.
I think he can hear heart. I think he might be a Heartrender too. Maybe he can hear the heartbeats.
Yeah. Oh, because he was shooting him in the chest. Yeah, he's a Heartrender. He's a Heartrender. Yeah.
That's my theory. But the one thing that kind of has me like, I'll watch another season. I will, because at the very end they show the Black Heretic summoning shadow smoke monsters out of the fold.
Yeah, bringing them out of the fold. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, what's ridiculous is if he is the Black Heretic and he created the fold, why can't he just manipulate it? Why does he need the Sun Summoner?
That's the thing.
Does she have to displace Shadow for him to move Shadow? It didn't make any sense. Or did he? Or did he need her to get to the center of it so he could manipulate it from the center safely? That's what I understand.
I'm not sure exactly what he intended to do with the Sun Summon. I think it's just because Sun is the opposite of Dark. So here's the thing. With the Fold, he made it, but he doesn't control it. And that's kind of what I liked about it. Was like if they can empower themselves with these artifacts, but that doesn't always mean that they have like complete control over it. It's almost like someone just knocked the end off the fire hydrant. He's just spewing shadow energy and just makes this huge fold, which was an awesome CGI, by the way, when they show it come up and expand and come down.
Yeah.
So like that's why he can't go in there and just like it's not just his kingdom to control. Like they're creatures in this darkness that he created.
But now he is controlling it and making
something happened. Yeah, something happened when he was coming out because I didn't spoil anything for myself, but I was like, what the fuck are those things? And I looked it up, and he can just make them from any shadow ever. They're an unlimited resource.
Why didn't he do that at all in the first season? That would have been so much fucking cooler.
Now he can. Like he couldn't do that before. Like, whatever happened to him in the Fold. So like season 2, he's going to be, I would say, way scarier.
That's one of those, plot devices. Like you read about.
It's like you read about.
No, but I really. What did you think of Kaz? I hated Kaz at first, but towards the end, I actually really, really liked him. Like I said, I always loved the character who like is not abled, like doesn't have the abilities of like the superhumans or whatever, and always kind of has some trick up his sleeve.
Was Kaz's crutch cane for decoration until after Pecker Dilly or whatever the fuck his name was beat the fuck out of him? Pecker Lily Dilly Billy.
I know who you're talking about.
The Conor McGregor looking fuckbag who like runs their town that they're in at first. Who was like Pecker Pickle Peppers.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Sort of them tertiary characters.
Yeah,
like you read about.
You're just taking Chris's new line. He hasn't even had a chance to
I'm just taking it up for a test drive, bro. I'm sorry.
We used it while you were peeing earlier, and I was reignited the fire. We can do this.
Yeah, I like this though. It feels good. Like it's like a new pair of shoes. But once you get comfortable in them, I'm like, oh man, how did I ever go without these for so long? I really need to treat myself better. Yeah,
just like you read about.
I feel like it would be way cooler if that Pecker fella would have been following them. On the, like, just think about it, man. Like, he's like this bad motherfucker, but he won't cross the fold.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna stay here though.
Yeah, like
it was Pekka Rollins.
Pecker, yeah. His name actually was
Pekka.
Sorry, he's Pecker. He's Pecker Rollins.
Yeah.
No relation to Henry Rollins.
No hard R.
Although they are both giant dicks, apparently.
Yeah. It's Pekka, not Pecker.
Do you ever wish you could go back in time and go to a Black Flag show, just spit in Henry Rollins' face?
Yeah.
No, never.
He would never know.
Or maybe you do at some point in your life, and that's why you get so angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time loop.
What if that was like your personal science fiction movie, but all you did was that? Like, you just pissed him off. I love it. Nothing ever came of it. Nothing ever changed. Your life is still the same, but you spit in that guy's face.
But imagine that Pecker Rollins is fucking chasing them. At least sometimes he shows up, right? Like, that would have been a more interesting and less predictable antagonist than the Black Heretic was.
Yeah.
Because like that again, man. Like, if you didn't see that coming the first time, he like made an entire room dark. When he cut someone in half, I was like, this guy's a bad guy. When he cut that,
yeah.
When he cut that Fjorgen, I'm like, I'm a bit of a detective, and I think this guy's up to no good.
To be clear, I knew he was a bad guy. I mean, I'm not saying that flew over my head. The dark featured, hair slicked back guy. I didn't think he was like well intentioned or anything.
No. But the first time he made a room dark, I'm like, that's the guy from the beginning. That's definitely that's this fella. That's what we're doing.
Well, what's your rating on the Scoot scale?
Oh God.
God bless you.
Bless you, Ron. I would give it I mean, a lot of it didn't work for me, but the things that did worked really well. I got to say, at least a solid 6.5 out of 10 on the Scoot scale.
Fair play.
That's fair.
If we're giving it Vin Diesel bicep curls, I would give it 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
But
I'm happy to hear that.
If you're giving it dangerously wet farts, I would give it 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5 dangerously wet farts. Okay.
All right.
I like the show a whole bunch. I'm looking forward to the next season. I agree. There's some things I don't like. His surprise at being the Black Heretic was. I wish it would have went the opposite way, right? Like I wish the show would have started off like everyone just assumes he is the bad guy because he's the only fucking shadow summoner in all the goddamn land. Yeah. And then it turned out that he's actually trying to like change the optics of his family lineage and like trying to destroy the thing that his family's famous for creating. I probably would have liked that angle better. And next week on Chris's Rewrites, we'll talk about how we could make The Nevers an actual show that I like. But speaking of The Nevers, I gave it away. Let's talk about it.
I watched 8 episodes. You watched 3. I don't feel bad for you.
8? How'd you watch 8?
I watched 8 episodes of Shadow and Bone.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. So, Derek and that was also a little bit
better if I was fucking with it in the background.
I was also being a little facetious. The show's not all bad.
No,
however,
it's bad, but there's good things about it.
It is pretty bad, though.
You know those shows that try to be clever with like some allegory to modern day, and they just fail miserably at it? Because that's what this is. So imagine trying to make an allegory for like men being afraid of women's power, but the only way you can possibly fathom in your stupid fucking head to make that a reality is to literally give them powers. Like, the show is actually just Victorian.
I feel like it's not
Lady
trying
X-Men.
to be that smart. You're giving it too much credit and then hating it for the credit that you're giving it. You're basically TD Bank with subprime mortgages right now. I want to let you know that.
No, I think Josh thinks that he was doing that. I think that he thought he was being clever. I really do.
At no point did I think he was being clever when I watched this. I was make that clear.
No.
Or that he was trying, or that he was even trying to be.
Oh, I think he was trying to be. And in reality, all he really made was Victorian mostly Lady X-Men. And it's not horrible. They introduced a couple things that I thought were interesting. But it's like, it's a show that tries to make itself look so complex and the world it builds to be so like intertwined, and it's really just shallow, right? Like there's not.
It's
100%.
There's just surface. There's just surface here. It's like I'm afraid to walk out into the fucking ice because I'll fall in.
But 90% of the shows that I've watched against my will, 2 of which were Marvel shows in the last 3 months, have been this same level of depth. We're talking like.
Oh, of course.
We're talking like the pool they filmed the Titanic in. Like there's a little bit of depth there, but just enough to sink a ship and drown in, right? Chris?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I only watched 1 episode.
I watched all 3.
And
it gets slightly better.
I was going to say I'm gonna watch at least one more, but I wasn't into it. I really wasn't into it. It reminded me of like Wild Wild West, like the aesthetic of it, which just turned me off in like a really. I just hate Will Smith. Have I mentioned that? I feel like I do at least.
Wicked Wild.
Yeah, just not
Wild
good.
Wild West, Jim West,
but Desperado, Rough Rider. No, you don't want
none of this. Six gun of this.
What?
I'm in hell. This is hell.
Come on. Imagine a fucking Will Smith Wild Wild West Fred Durst remix. Imagine how fast you'd kill yourself. Imagine. I couldn't bite down on the capsule fast enough. Give me that sweet
Buffalo Soldier. Look, it's like I told you. Okay.
Yeah. The special effects of this show
was it Cisco in that too, though? Was it Cisco?
Was he really? Oh no.
With Drew Hill. Please, can we watch that video?
We're due for another watch along.
We are. It's been a while.
But it's just the Wild Wild West music video. Like just 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Bang it out in under 5.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
So where'd we leave off? Wild Wild West. Yeah. Okay.
The special effects. I felt like I was watching an episode of Heroes. Like the special effects were so dated. They were so bad. None of the characters were really interesting. And exactly, I mean, everything was just shallow. Like Malady, I think her name's Malady, right?
You mean female Joker?
Female, yeah, but like not
female Heath Ledger.
It's like this caricature of like, I've lost my mind. It was so hard to watch.
They build her up in a way where she literally, so far 3 episodes in, has mirrored everything that Nolan writ into The Dark Knight. That you can save one, but you can't save both. Bullshit from the fucking boats. What I've liked.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, what I've liked about this show is that it jumped the shark right away. I don't have to take it seriously at all. I don't. There's characters that have interesting abilities. The fact that this woman can like feel electricity and manipulate electricity, but doesn't use it to like try to harness it, but just use it to like create stuff. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think some of the writing is really bad, but it keeps surprising me again and again. Like every time I think I knew it was going to happen, it doesn't. But not in a way that's not in the way that like feels like it's trying to subvert expectations. I feel like
we keep missing out. Really, is what it comes down to.
What's that?
Because week after week, we've made jokes about how funny it would be to make a comedic turn on the idea of what would happen if you got a random X-Men power, but they sucked. And this show is like kind of basically that.
And the one girl can see the future, but like not in a helpful way. Like, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know where I gotta be. It's like, okay.
The one girl can speak in different languages, but like,
not the one she wants.
Well, I'm just really tall. That's mine.
Yeah,
I'm just big.
Yeah, I'm real tall. But like the thing is, it gets, I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it, but like I keep going back. It might be like when like, you know, like. You ever have a fart where you're like, oh, that's bad, but you go back, oh man, it's still bad, yeah. It's the reason that sometimes you turn around and look at your own shit in the toilet before you flush. It's that impulse.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's that impulse. I can't flush. I have to see what's gonna happen next. I have to like get one more look every week so far, and I don't know why. Like I know it's not good. I know it's basically like it's trash TV. If somehow the CW verse was worse but had a better budget. It's like if you give the CW verse titties and violence and it's still not good is what it is. But certain things about the way the story's unfolding are interesting and keep dragging me back in, like, see what they're gonna do next. Mm-hmm. Even though there's literally no likable characters. There's one guy whose ability is he can walk on water, but he can't go underwater. So this guy has just never taken a bath, I guess. Or like if he takes a shower, does he just like die? Does he just get pelted to death with water?
I was gonna say that was one scene that I actually thought was kind of cool the way they framed it, but I didn't think about the hilarity that must ensue in his everyday life.
Yeah, like he goes to wash his hands and just crushes the bones in his fingers. Like he can't fucking. Water is solid to him.
I like how they also just made White Barrett. All right, something else we took from him. Way to go, Joss.
Oh man, Joss Whedon just appropriating culture over here.
Wait, what did they do?
They made a White Barrett, the guy with the fucking
machine gun arm.
Oh, right.
Well, I guess it was just Dine, right? Dine?
I guess he could be dying. Well, he had a shotgun. We don't have to split hairs, though.
Well, Joss doesn't have any hairs to split, so.
Yeah.
I like how Joss made a show about women and called them the touched, because it's specifically what he'd like to do to them.
Oh.
That was my only other takeaway.
Oh, no. All right, boys. What is your bad superpower? What is your bad superpower?
Oh, I need to prepare this answer.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, take some time if you need it.
Doctor Strange, except it hurts really bad every time. Or not Doctor Strange. I fucked it up. Mr. Fantastic. That's the one.
My superpower?
Like you're at like the baseball game with your stepson.
Yeah,
the home run just lands. You want to like impress your stepson. You're like, ah! Every time it's just like ripping your muscles.
Yeah.
And then your shitty stepson doesn't even care. You can stretch,
but it takes weeks and months to recoup the muscle damage.
Someone's like, oh, Mr. Long Arms, my cat's in the tree. And you're like, we should call the fire department. I wrote that joke like 20 episodes ago. I don't know if I used it then. So if I did, I'm sorry, listeners.
Wait, Mr. Long Arms? You wrote that down?
It's Daddy Long Arms.
It's so Daddy good, though.
I'm just off the cuff, my superpower is being able to tell what toys at the bottom of any given cereal box. But that's it. That's the only thing I can do.
What kind of cereal are you? Well, first of all, are you living in 1941 with the first Green Lantern? When the fuck do you get prizes in cereal boxes still?
Okay, fine. At the bottom of any given Cracker Jack box. Is that even worse?
Yeah. What is this? World's Fair? Are we gonna talk shit to Bucky and then try to fuck this broad and get beat up in a hallway or an alleyway?
I told you I needed time.
What's that?
So I told you I needed time.
Well, take it. Take all the time you need.
All right. Mm-hmm. I need time like you read about. So I'm not gonna have an answer this segment. I'll have to get back to you boys on that. Well, I'm gonna keep watching it. While actively finding things to ridicule as I watch, I, like Scott, have some morbid curiosity where I feel like I need to know where it's gonna go.
Right? It doesn't make any sense, but
no, it's weird that I continually want to see spoiler alert, someone important to this, or at least feigned importance dies in episode 3, and it's like it's coming like a fucking mile and a half away.
Because it's in slow mo.
Mile and a half away.
Yeah, but
it's
still that stink you got to keep smelling. You know what I mean? It's like
you just got to
like that fart I just laid.
It's like, what is that? I gotta keep smelling until I figure out what it is, right? Oh, it's bad, but why do I like this? Oh, what's wrong with me?
Oh, what's wrong with me? All right, boys. Next up on the not weekend review, main topics is a film that we decided to watch off podcast. Scott's recommendation. It is a Korean zombie film called Train to Busan. Came out back in 2016, and I remember hearing about it back then and hearing that it was a good zombie flick, and I never really watched it, obviously. And now that we have, we're gonna talk about that shit. Derek, I would like your thoughts first, I think. How did you like Train to Busan? Was it a thumbs up, a thumbs down?
So here's how I feel about Train to Busan. I think the most tired thing about zombie movies and TV shows in general is that they all have the same message, and it's that everything is grim and humans are the real monsters, and it's just the same thing again and again. It's just like showcasing how awful humans can be when they're in situations where they're forced into, having to survive. It creates a contrast between the literal dead people that the living people who still have all their agency do things that are kind of a lot worse than that. It's the same thing again and again and again and again and again. The thing that I liked about this movie is that it did the opposite of that. I know that was the key message of this movie, was that it flipped it around. It said, in this time of dire need, people actually wanted to be better people and look out for each other and help out. You had the one clown shoe, the one rich guy who was obviously the standard dickhead. And
the worst of the worst, too.
You gotta have a villain. You gotta have a human villain in a zombie movie. Yeah.
But I did like that there was like that growth throughout from the main guy. There was obviously the dude with his pregnant wife that I self-inserted because I have a pregnant girlfriend, and him sort of wanting to protect his wife. Yeah, total hunk, that guy. God.
Love that guy.
Can you imagine just getting kissed on the neck by him if he just grabbed you in the back of your neck? Yeah. No, just think about it. Just when we're done,
But his lips are always greasy with like KFC chicken grease. He's got that that KFC grease energy.
Overall, though, the execution of the movie was kind of like corny to me. I didn't really like. I just can't stand. Again, we're talking about inconsistency with Shadow and Bone, where it's like, oh, the fold is this big, scary place, but then they just get through. Same thing with this. You see all these scenes where it's like, I like that the zombies were like the 28 Days Later zombies, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Like that's my favorite zombie.
Way scarier.
But only when they're like engaged. When they're not, they're like kind of like in like a almost, I don't know, like a vegetative state. They're just kind of fucking like just meandering until they have an objective. I thought that those kind
of rules that they applied to them was cool. Like they can't see in the dark, but they can still hear. Yeah. I think the zombies were well done, but I totally lost my train of thought. So that's
I'll take right over.
Yeah, please.
I thought that the way the zombies moved was terrifying. Like when they would flip really quickly from human to zombie, and then they would usually like roll and like kind of like all creepy. Like everything looks like it's breaking and reforming. That was very creepy. And then I agree. There's two things. Every zombie movie feels like that's worth its salt anyway. Feels like it needs to apply a unique rule to their zombies. And with this one, it was like, well, they can't see in the dark, but they can hear you. But it's like, that was fine until you were in like an almost laughable scene for me where they were in the middle of fighting with these zombies, like hands on the zombies, and the lights go out, and then the zombies act like they can't fucking see them.
That's what it was. That's what I was going to say. Just real quick. They set up the whole movie like every encounter, everybody just dies, and then the three main characters go into a cab with like 40 of them and just like hand-to-hand combat beat the shit out of these zombies. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, they geared the fuck up. They had riot shields.
They had duct tape on their forearms as well.
Yeah, he had padding and duct tape.
The dude had a fucking riot shield.
I mean, one of them did.
The guy in the front,
Our main bully had the pads and the tape. Our pregnant wife having guy.
That's not the main bully though. That's the bully.
He's my main bully.
Yeah, he was my main bully for sure.
That big hunka.
Just want him to hug me.
Yeah.
There's a few parts of this movie that I love to death. I mean, it is tongue in cheek, but what zombie isn't, what zombie movie isn't really at this point, because it's a genre that's been done to that point where like we have Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, where zombies are touching foreheads and probably operating firearms at some point.
They probably still jerk off.
Oh god!
Once a week minimum.
They probably pull that skin off in one stroke.
Right?
It's gotta be
before like
it's gotta be like when you've been cooking chicken in a crock pot all night. You know.
Emilio Estevez's face. Zombie's dick. What's the difference?
You wake up the next morning. You're like, I'm gonna have one piece before I go to work. This is for dinner, but I prepped early. I deserve a little treat. And you just pull you just pull that chicken right off the bone. It's a drumstick, but the whole meat just comes off. You know what I mean?
That's the second time this podcast. That slow cooking a chicken in the crock pot is like the analogy.
I just bought a crock pot. I'm so excited about it.
So that's gotta be like the thumbnail. This week is not even like a perverted thumbnail. It's just like chicken cooking in a fucking crock pot.
No. It's gotta be a crock pot with a zombie face poking out of it, like a zombie head, or zombie Emilio Estevez. We can do that
in a crock pot. That's in a crock pot.
That might be a hard ask. I doubt that exists on the internet, and if it doesn't already exist, I sure as hell I'm not artistic enough to make it.
Let's just make it a zombie crock pot, right?
Okay, I could probably pull that off.
Yeah.
The old Zomcrock.
Yeah. The old Zomcrock.
Zuck. Let's stop.
the old Crockby.
Oh god.
Crock. Okay. Anyway.
So yeah, I mean, like in defense of this movie, again, like
no, I liked it. You don't have to defend it.
Well, no, I mean, it has its moments that are laughable because obviously, like, there has to be plot armor for somebody. Otherwise, we're not going to make it to the end because these are such ridiculous, over the top circumstances. These zombies are as dangerous as the 28 Days Later zombies with the rage virus, but you're in such a confined space. Having recently played through Resident Evil 0, I'm gonna stroke myself off here.
Don't pull anything off.
Fighting even slow shambling zombies in a confined space like that, where it's a straight line to get from point A to point B, is terrifying. So I mean, to do it with these zombies, where they can have them be at different stops and try to like do the right thing and help people and save people, get people on the train. They had to have some kind of plot armor for people. They had to like, those three had to make it through that car in order for the story to progress. So I forgive that, given how much plot armor 90% of the characters have in 90% of the shit I watch.
Yeah.
But I thought, like you said, like that whole thing where they're they're not willing to leave a man behind. You know what I mean? Like they literally wait to the very last second to save like 5 people at that one stop. You know what I mean? Like they almost all die for 5 people, and there's a train of 45 people or something like that in the front. There's also a scene where they're locked on the wrong side of the door, and that guy's trying to like keep them out, and they literally kick the fucking door down, and people are like helping them through. People decide that they can't maintain any of their humanity if they hear these people die to the side of the door. And I think in that situation, honestly, it's hard to imagine myself listening to 5 people die and then not hating myself for the rest of my life, because I hate myself for dumb things I said 5 years ago that I have like, you ever have your brain just like, hey, remember the time you said that thing to that girl and you were real drunk and you sound like a complete douchebag, and like, oh God, I don't deserve oxygen. I should just choke myself out right now.
I used dichotomy wrong in a verbal presentation in college when I was 18 years old, and I still think about it every other week. It's just, it kills me.
Yeah. I made a joke about cancer in front of a girl whose dad had died of cancer and didn't know it.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, yours is a lot worse. Okay.
Yeah. I still think about that all the time.
Were you shitting on Jim Varney then, too?
No. It was the worst thing I've ever done, guys. And I'm going to share it with you right now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Perfect.
We had these. I worked at a animal hospital at one point. I worked at like a rescue where I got Brody from, and we had these scanners to scan the chips in animals to find out who their owners were. And I was like scanning a chip, and I turned to my coworker who was talking shit. And I'm scanning his face. I'm like, "Do you have cancer yet? Do you have cancer yet? Do you have cancer yet?" And the girl next to us, who also worked there, just like walked out of the room. He's like, "Her dad died of cancer like a month ago." I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, but you didn't know.
I didn't know, but I still hate myself for that. So imagine that hearing 5 people die and know you could have done something, and then living with yourself. We all have those. That to me was always a realistic scene in this entire movie. Is that there's going to be bags of shit, but it's easier to make those bag of shit decisions when you're actively in a firefight with somebody, or where it's actively you or me. And that's what we're usually presented with in zombie movies, where it's like, it's you or me, it's one of us has to die, so I can survive, I'm going to kill you. This was like people put in situations where they could easily survive without any immediate threat, but they chose to do the right thing and risk themselves for their humanity, for the sake of their humanity. And I mean, it's honestly self-preservation at a certain point, because you're gonna put a gun in your mouth at some point in the zombie apocalypse if you have to live with 5 fucking toe tags, you know what I mean, on your head. So or on your feet, maybe. When you got 5 toes, that's a whole foot. That's a whole foot with the toe tags, boys. That's all I got. I love this movie, man. And the sequel is currently on Shudder. You boys are welcome to use my my Shudder account.
I got a 7-day free trial, bro. I'm gonna watch the sequel and then cancel that shit.
All right. Well, I mean, you also have my login. You could just use that, since there's no way that the 3 of us will ever be watching Shudder at the same time, ever.
What a low key but still sick burn to Shudder as a service.
I mean, like, I love the Last Drive-In show with Joe Bob Briggs. I love the Eli Roth History of Horror. Those are fascinating to watch, because you get a lot of behind the scenes stuff if you're a horror fan. I shat on Shudder really hard earlier this month. It is worth the price tag this month. But that's not always the case. But there is a lot of dope stuff coming out. But calling it their halfway to Halloween event, fuck you. Just roll this kind of shit out every month to earn my 7 or 12, whatever the fuck it is now, dollars. I don't even know what it is. It
was only like $6, I think.
Well, they earned it this month. But also, I spend that on like a pack of cigarettes. If I lived in Georgia, I guess. I'm spending double that on
you're not spending that now.
Yeah, I'm spending double that on a pack of cigarettes, and I'm talking shit for like a month's worth of entertainment. I'm a piece of shit. I'm gonna think back on this moment. This is gonna be my girl whose dad died of cancer moment, like tomorrow. I'm gonna think about this sentence I said right now and hate myself for this.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad Derek and I could help.
Be here. Yeah.
Yeah, right. We really feel like
this one.
The
great irony of my life is I'm going to get cancer and die. And the thing, but the beauty is I'm going to make jokes about myself dying from cancer while I'm dying of cancer. Get ready, boys. It's going to happen. I'm a smoker.
And we're going to be like real, like we want to like encourage you because you're like to have a healthy way of getting through it.
He's so brave.
Feel like really uncomfortable and we're just like, just forced. It's going to be really awful.
Yeah. I'm calling it now though. Cancer. It's going to happen. I got it coming.
What kind?
Lung, colon.
Wow.
Prostate.
Specific here. Let's really dive into how you think you're
liver.
Gonna die.
I don't know. I've abused many organs in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like the shits I've taken, I should probably die for. So if it's colon cancer, I'm good with it. Let's move on. Fair. This is getting real weird.
Yeah, it's getting real weird. Okay. All right.
What, Chris? Chris, what the fuck is Stowaway?
So I was just going to bring it up. Stowaway is a science fiction kind of science fiction suspense thriller, I guess. It just came out on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. It's a movie, not a TV show. Starring Anna Kendrick and then a bunch of no names because I'm sure that was all they could afford. However, the premise was actually I love space science fiction films, and the premise is they're going on a mission to Mars. And they take off, and about 12 hours into the flight, they find one of the launchpad support engineers on the ship, and they have to deal with that. And I have to say, I thought it was quite good. I thought that it was there was a nice realistic approach. None of the crew members turned into the villain that just tried to murder somebody so that they weren't over count. You know, I thought apparently this scenario is a thought experiment that people will read about if you actually go to college. Where there's, I forget the exact thought experiment, but it's basically this: that you take off on a trip that you can't come back from. There's too many people on there. What do you do with that person? You cannot. Spoiler alert: don't have enough supplies for all 4 people. That's kind of what happens. And I thought the way the movie is written surprised me. Because I thought one of those crew members was just going to do the villain and just go kill him. I don't fucking care. And they didn't do that. There was a very thoughtful conversation throughout the movie. It all takes place on the ship. Even what I thought was especially like thought provoking or powerful was that even when they talk to Mission Control, you can't hear Mission Control clearly. Like you always hear her go, Mission Control, this is the situation, blah, blah, blah. And you hear like...
they sound like Charlie Brown adults.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, not really, but you can hear vaguely as if you're trying to listen to someone's cell phone conversation, but you can never make out what they're saying, and they never cut to Mission Control. It's all in the ship. And I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie. It had an appropriately sad, but what else could they do ending, you know?
Yeah. You're telling us they all died in space, is what you're telling us.
I didn't tell you that. I did not.
Is that what you heard, Derek?
I can guarantee you that they do not all die.
That's one of those spoilers you hear about. Read about. Sorry, fuck.
Yeah. It's all right. Don't take that phrase in vain. I mean, if you like science fiction / space movies,
I like Anna
I would
Kendrick.
recommend it.
I know Derek hates her, but I like her.
It's really just her face primarily.
That's the thing I want to compliment. That's my favorite part.
Okay. I like this game. What other things does Derek hate Scott wants to come on?
Let's rattle them off. Let's go.
Yeah, Steve Rogers. Boom, there's another one. Next.
Okay. That is America's ass. I'm sorry I made that reference.
That's okay.
I'm for once speechless. Well done.
Yeah.
What, you got anything else in the chamber? Because I got a few more in the chamber.
Why don't you take over? Why don't you hit me with one?
I mean, I don't know what you hate.
Oh.
I need to hear what you hate.
Got some more loads in the chamber.
Yeah. We need you to hate things so that he can tell you if it's going to come on him or not.
You have to list things you hate, and I'll tell you if I'd come on or not.
I don't know. I feel like I'm on the spot. I hate being on the spot.
Yeah, I agree. But continue.
I mean, I'm not going to come on your spot. That's weird.
Just point it out. Where's it at? Do you hate it? How much do you hate it? Tell me how much you hate it,
Do you hate Vin Diesel's bald head?
Oh, no.
I would for the story. I would. I don't know who I can tell that to. Feeling a cocktail party.
You would probably tell that to your therapist, I think.
And someone's talking about like Chronicles of Riddick 9, and you're like, all right, so I don't tell many people this.
Yeah.
This is my moment, boys.
You guys ever seen a Krispy Kreme donut without a hole?
I made his head glisten like you read about. All right, we gotta wrap this shit up, boys. We've been going for a while.
Yeah.
Do we have any recommendations?
It's like if you dipped a cue ball in paint thinner.
Oh, gross. That's a thick load. You've been storing up for Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Do we have any recommendations for next week? I'm gonna watch the Train to Busan sequel.
Yeah,
that's what I thought we were doing.
Peninsula. Okay. I mean, is there anything else coming out this week that you guys would want to see? I feel like we could probably pick something that's topical. There's the Rainn Wilson Trapped in a Well movie. I'll buy it for you guys if you want to watch it.
Wait, what is it?
It's Rainn Wilson from The Office.
Right.
But he's like trapped in a well. He's like a security guard. He catches these kids running somewhere they're not supposed to be. And like while chasing them, he falls in this well and they know he's down there. But they did something bad. Like they like stole or they did some kind of crime that will get them in real trouble. So the whole movie's like them deciding if they're gonna like let him die in the well or like help him out.
Don't tell a soul, it's called.
Yeah. It looks really stupid, but that's why I'm gonna get stoned.
All right, yeah, I'm into it then.
I'll watch it for sure. I have to say before we go, I'm a little upset that Scott blew off my Ford vs. Ferrari recommendation so quickly without even a second thought.
All right,
I'm going to say, hang on, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go. Mm-hmm. Let me speak.
Paint a picture. Paint a picture like Bob Ross for the people.
I'm gonna paint it with this sweet load I got stored up for something that Derek's probably gonna hate. So I'm not into cars. I'm not into racing films. I could care less. But I feel like it was a really solid movie. Christian Bale and Matt Damon are good actors, and I had a good time watching it. And I felt when I was like, oh shit, you guys haven't seen it, that it would turn for you guys into something like The Trial of Chicago 7, where you didn't expect that you were going to like it, but just because it's a well-made movie, you'd be like, oh, okay. So, I'm not telling you to watch it for next week.
Okay, fair. No, you know what? I'm going to do it.
You totally don't have to.
I'm going to do it because honestly, you're absolutely correct. First of all, what I was going to say was I was glad that Scott was the one who said that he didn't want to watch it because I didn't want to either. But
it's not topical, boys.
Trial of Chicago 7 is a great example. I really didn't think I was going to like it, and I ended up falling in love with it. So either way, I'll check it out. I'll give you my thoughts.
I'm not like it was just enjoyable. They're just good actors.
I will say this:
story.
I will watch any dog shit you guys make me watch or ask me to watch if it's topical and a recent release. I will watch an entire season of something that I objectively hate if it's recent. But I'm not going back 3 years, 4 years and watching a movie that I didn't like 4 years ago. I'm just not
fair
doing
play.
It. Trial of Chicago 7 was a big surprise to me because again, like courtroom dramas are usually like Aaron Brockovich and fucking
I didn't realize that was recent either. Like that was on the docket for the Oscars this year. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a few years old.
Anything that's a recent release, I will always watch. But I just don't want to dig back unless it's a gem. Like I'll watch Old Boy all fucking day.
Yeah, but 2 out of 3 have seen it, so that doesn't work.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen Audition?
But Ford vs. Ferrari has like a whole 92 on Rotten Tomatoes, boys. Look, I'm just trying to see how much leeway my Invincible recommendation buys me.
Do you hate Christian Bale?
I kind of hate Christian Bale a little bit.
He's a dickhead, but he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. He is, but he's a little self-indulgent, isn't he?
Of course,
keep gaining all that weight. Just calm down, Chris. Shin.
Quit showing off how quickly you can lose it, dickhead. The rest of us have trouble.
Well, he just starves himself, which means he'll be hungry for the load I have for him because I fucking Derek hates him, and as an act of solidarity, I'm coming on him, baby.
Oh no! All right, boys.
My new favorite game.
I'm just imagining Christian Bale like walking to a studio in New York at like 6:30 a.m. and you just walking up like "Love you in Dark Knight" and you just fucking come right on his stomach and then you just run away.
I have to do it. I have to like get it in my hand and sling it like that guy from Silence of the Lambs when Jodie Foster walks, you get like right in the face, you know. Like,
you're gonna have to be cosplaying as Spider-Man
and like right.
Or like I'm like suspended above him and I slide down real fast like that kiss scene from Spider-Man 1 in the Rain, but I just whack one off real quick. just pump out some shooters on him.
If you could pump one out on the spot like that, that's your superpower.
I couldn't get pump out some shooters out without laughing.
Though.
Just come on demand.
Yeah. My superpower would be that I would be able to turn cum into gold.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And with that, we're gonna wrap things up. All right, Train to Busan sequel for next week.
Have Vin Diesel look like a Buddha statue, right? Just.
I'm gonna keep watching the Nevers, so we can talk about whatever things happen in the next episode.
I'll watch at least one more too.
Word. And then we'll figure out through the week if there's anything else we want to add on because we're not beholden to making these decisions a week in advance.
Yeah.
I don't have to answer to you guys.
Yeah. What are you, our boss? No.
Are you guys excited for Resident Evil 8? We got.
I am.
Yeah. We got 5 days, bullies. 5 days.
Ooh. Yeah, we can actually cover that next week too.
Oh, true. First impressions, at least.
Yeah, hell yeah.
First impressions, yeah.
I think next week we'll be releasing on Monday. evening, guys. I got some stuff I got to do, so that's my bad.
Yeah, no big deal.
Oh, recording. Oh, yeah. I was yeah.
We'll be recording a day late next week, just to give you guys a little heads up. So your Monday morning commute's going to suck, but Tuesday will be just right.
Tuesday will be juice.
It'll be just right.
I'll get back to you guys next week and tell you what else that Derek hates that I can't wait to come on. So
yeah, we're going to come up with a list. It'll be comprehensive.
Tune in. Yeah.
Okay, while we're trying to come up with a list, Derek, where can everybody find you?
My name is Chris, and you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TCN Plays. That's TCNPLAYS. Just kidding. My name is Derek. I did that bit with Scott a couple months ago, too. That's cheap. I realized it halfway through, but then it felt weird to just stop. Felt like I should at least finish.
You should have been like, my name's Chris, and my Twitter handle is pee-pee-poo-poo.
Pee-pee-poo-poo 12. My name is Derek. And you can pretty much just find me on Twitter at Dr. GloomMD. That's DRGLOOMMD. Dr. Gloom MD.
Nice. Scott, how about you?
My name is Swearwolf. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook Gaming. If you're listening to this, I'm live right now.
Oh, shit.
At twitch.tv/Swearwolf. That's SWEARWOLFE. The next 4 days of my life are consumed by Resident Evil 5, 6, and 7. So I can get them all done before 8 drops on Thursday at midnight. So I will be live if I'm awake for the next 4 days until I get these games done.
Jesus, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry.
That's a great
My name is Chris.
Because you're not hardcore.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TCN Plays. This has been episode 29 of The Cynical Nerd. We tell common fart jokes like you read about.
Come on, Vin Diesel, on this big old bald head. Gonna shoot on my skin on the rear of the car because I like pitch black.
Well, I gotta keep that.
Absolutely have to. All right.